T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Live from the Cheap Seats with your host, me, Andrew Faubert, here to give you guys the brand new updates of actual, real, live stats, statistics, and football for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers that happened yesterday, Saturday, August 14th. They played the Cincinnati Bengals at home at the Pirate Ship for all the fans to finally come in and get to crowd in there and enjoy a home game and see their team, even though it was a preseason game. It's a lot of fun for all the fans. It was a lot of fun for us to watch. But it was one thing after another on all the social media platforms that you saw of people saying this and people saying that. We're not going to have any more of that. Not on this show, anyway. We're going to put all that to bed. But before we put that to bed, let's put some of the homework, I guess you would say, to bed. Make sure that you like and subscribe, not only to Bucs Report, for all of your Bucs content that you are going to need for this up-and-coming season. Make sure you follow me, Andrew Faubert, at NorthSportsDynasty.com for all of your fantasy football knowledge and statistics and information that you need. As you can see the board behind me, I will be having my statistics up, and you'll see them almost basically every damn time that I come up on here on this show. But make sure you get on all the platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. It doesn't matter. Wherever you can find live content, you will see Bucs Report. And we will give you just that. All the content that you're going to need this up-and-coming season for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is right. It is going to be a great season. So before we get into some madness, because you know how the miscreants like to bring it, we'll give you a couple of thoughts here. I happen to be at an Elks game. Not doing my job properly. I know, fire me for the second time here at Bucs Report. Get rid of the Canadian. What does he bring to this? I bring a little bit of knowledge. Little bit of knowledge. And a little bit of that knowledge comes from being up here. I get to see highlights. And unless I can actually record the video itself, I can't actually watch the damn video. Unless I illegally stream it. But I did not do that. So I had to check out the highlights. But I also watched most of the game. And what did I see? I saw what a lot of people saw. Except I'm not going to overreact to a preseason game. Brady went 1 for 2 for 9 yards. Panic! Mass panic hysteria at Raymond James Stadium and all Buccaneer fans across the land. Oh, good. Bench him. Bench him. Get rid of him. Rid of this old man. I don't want him on this roster anymore. Could you imagine waking up and hearing that? It's absolutely insane. Blaine Gabbert deserves a chance. 6 for 11. full statistics on that. 6 for 11, 64 yards. I mean, yeah, sure. Blaine Gabbert looks like a really solid backup. Even Ryan Griffin, 6 for 11, 47 and 8 through 2 interceptions that really were not that great. Just saying. But how dare we ever throw Kyle Trask's name out there for our starting future quarterback? 4 for 15 for 35 yards. Oh, how the audacity. You really think that Bucs Report would have hired me if I just went to NFL.com and read off the statistics list and sat here and said that I actually know what I'm talking about? I watched most of this game, and I watched the highlights that I needed to. I don't look for highlights of these big completed plays. I don't need to know that Keyshawn Vaughn was looking damn good to know that on certain plays, he still doesn't know how to read properly. It didn't take me long to not only look at the statistics here of Kyle Trask only completing 4 passes, but to know that some of those passes weren't necessarily going to be his fault. He's throwing to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th string wide receivers, is he not? Then depth, practice squad, undrafted free agents. You got to put all this together. So I watched the tape. Looked like a kid who's happy to be in Tampa. Happy to be in Tampa Bay. A kid that's very happy to have some of the targets that he's going to be able to throw to. Jalen Darden being one of them? Are you kidding me? This kid was targeted 6 times. 2 catches for 19 yards. All right. I looked at the tape. This kid looks pretty dang good. He's rough on the edges. He needs improvement like most of these other guys we've seen, especially on the Cincinnati side. But there's improvement that's going to be made. And isn't that what preseason games are supposed to be for? Darden looked pretty damn good. And that chemistry that he's going to have with Kyle Trask, because they're going to be sitting for a little while. They're going to get there at times here when Brady is blowing out the Aints 54-3, and Winston has been finally thrown out there, and he throws his first pick, and Kyle Trask finally gets an opportunity. He's going to throw it to Darden. He's going to throw it to Tyler Johnson. He's not throwing it to Mike Evans. He's not throwing it to Chris Godwin. He's not throwing it to Antonio Brown at that point. Throwing it to the guys that he's practicing with, that he's going to have to pass to every single time because they are on the team that he is meant to be practicing with right now. You're not meant to be practicing with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown. When you get that opportunity, you better shine. No, right now you are supposed to make sure that these, say, replacements for some of these placeholders look good. 4 for 15, 35 yards. It's not the greatest statistics of all time. It's also not the worst. Go look at the tape. Go watch him play. That ball that he throws is pretty sexy. I've only seen a few quarterbacks that can just, that little flutter and that little flick where you can just you're just yeah, right there. I'm just right there for you. Not many quarterbacks have that in this day and age. In this day and age of NFL. They just kind of hope and pray. Gunslinger it or run it out of bounds. Kyle Trask is not going to scramble every single time, though he's trying to extend the play. It's preseason. This is the only opportunity he's going to get. But the kid's going to show off his legs. It's not going to be the fastest in the world. Brady was never the fastest. But Brady still got more running touchdowns last year than some top-end running backs. Go check out that statistic. Keyshawn Vaughn, I brought his name up. 11 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown, 2.5-yard average. Again, I'm just reading the statistics here. I'm just giving you guys that first before I get into it. He also had 2 catches for 10 yards, but he was targeted 3 times. Keyshawn Vaughn was a 3rd-round draft pick. And they also drafted another running back in that draft. That running back ended up going to the Rams. And they just lost their starter. And he's still not even being thought of in the category of who should we use. They're thinking of a guy named Jake Funk, Darrell Henderson, and the other guy. Keyshawn Vaughn is not that. But if they continue with the success of Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette and this surgence of what Giovanni Bernard is going to bring, and I will get into that, may not necessarily be room for him. And we saw a couple years ago, I believe at the beginning when Brady came here, what happened with Ogunbowambe. A lot of people said, oh, he's staying. That's a pass catching back, and we need that. You can find replacements. It's inevitable. But he looked good. Cuts were a little bit, I would say squeaky at times. At times. Though he's got a good awareness for the field. And he just seems like he needs an opportunity of a bulk of carries. Doesn't need to bulk up himself. He just needs bulk of carries and an opportunity to show out what he can do. Think this kid's got promise. But there's just too many cows in the barn right now for him to be old Betsy for the good old farmer. I don't know if that's a proper reference or not. But he is going to get his opportunity. And I'll get into when in a little bit here. I want to give a couple shout outs to Joe Tryon as well. I see you. I saw you almost every damn defensive play that you were on the field. That big old number 9 coming off the edge. It's like watching Shaq Barrett's first ever game where he started to go off. Started to see that number. Started to know who the hell number 58 was. I believe it's number 58. Apologies if I got the number wrong. You started to know when he was coming off the edge. Then we took a 3rd round pick and we sent it away to the Giants and we said, bring JPP here. So you can't double team. Well, JPP is going to get it. And then when everybody figured it out, we took our 1st round pick, who a lot of people, including myself at times, said, oh, we should take a quarterback. If the right one was there, maybe, sure. Oh, we should take an offensive lineman. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Oh, we should take all straight defense. Great pick. May have reached. Doesn't matter now. Kid's going to develop. And he could roughing the passer. That might actually get picked up. Like that flag might not actually get thrown in the regular season in week 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The reason why they drafted this guy is because now all of a sudden, when these two guys, if you think you can finally defend Shaq and JPP, congratulations. The Buccaneers are drafting depth. And this depth right here, before we bring on the miscreants who have been waiting forever, and I appreciate everybody in the comment section tonight as well, the depth of this team is really what these preseason games are all about. This preseason games are going to show off not only what the rookies and who needs to stay on the roster here and there and what our depth needs are. No, we have a different mindset. We are now Tampa Bay. We won the damn Super Bowl at home. We're on a whole nother level to everybody else now. People are just now trying to get to our level. And unless you're drafting appropriately, it's not going to work. Because just think about this for a second. The depth that we have, all contracts aside, of people who are, under contract for long term. Kappa, Chris Godwin, those are two big names that are coming up, free agency. And who have the Buccaneers drafted in the last 2 drafts? Wide receivers and offensive linemen. It's almost as if they kind of know. So why would they draft Tryon? Oh, JPP's age. That makes sense. And what about the linebacker that they got there? KJ Britt. Really starting to come out. This kid is actually starting to look like one of the best 5th round picks that we've ever got. May not have been all there in the preseason game, but he's showing out in training camp, and his name has been said, and it's whispers. This Buccaneers drafting is absolutely amazing. And you're damn right it is amazing. The other thing it adds to this, though, is depth. Let's say that your Tampa Bay Buccaneers go on a nice winning streak at the end of the season, just like we did last year. We meet the Saints in the 1st round. Goodbye. We meet the Packers in the second round. Goodbye. I guess that's all we would need, right? But let's just say for a hypothetical, just because I'm joking and throwing teams out there, let's say we got to go through the Bears. Shout out to Harry Greek. And we beat them. We go to the Super Bowl and we're playing either the Chiefs again, the LA Chargers, Cleveland Browns, Buffalo Bills. Really, you could take any pick. But let's just say we're getting a rematch from the Kansas City Chiefs. And we beat the Kansas City Chiefs by a close margin this time. Brady having to put everything into one of the better comebacks. Not the best, but one of the better comebacks he's had to do in his career. He runs the ball. He pulls an Elway. Then he's gone. He wins us 2, and he retires only because he's not taking that beating, and he's not going to recover in time to come back for a third season. And he just decides to walk away, still stays around and stuff. We have the right GM and the proper contracts in place to allow some of these guys who have ring chased to leave, and we can replace them. Antonio Brown's going to leave when Brady's gone. Tyler Johnson. Oh, what about Chris Godwin? Jalen Darden. Still got Scotty Miller. Mike Evans ain't going anywhere for cheap. Defense, same thing. JPP will probably retire. It's okay. Got your replacement. What about Ndamukong Suh? Vita Vea is there. What about Levante David? Maybe he's only got a year or 2 left. That's a pretty good thing we got KJ Britt already being developed. Javon Hagan, an undrafted free agent, is showing off here. Carlton Davis wants to get paid. Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy-Bunting, any of these guys who would deserve the paycheck. This man can step in and get his own paycheck eventually. The Bucs are set up now and will continue to be set up to make sure that we have the depth and the ability to win games when Brady's gone. And these preseason games right now may not be the best thing when we lose, but to those kids, these are their games to show off. And all the losses that come up on their schedule, they're not going to like that when all of a sudden they got the 17, 18-week schedule in front of them, and they got to show off for all the Maine fans who are going to start knowing their names. Now all of a sudden you're not just a practice squad kid. Your name is out there. You're an Edwards. You're a Scotty Miller. You're a Watson. You're one of those guys. Once your name is on that depth chart and we got to know who you are, you got to put out. That's just the reality of the NFL. And I'm thinking, and I know you are too, the fans are thinking this the same thing. The Buccaneers are doing a damn good job of keeping that depth in-house and drafting it and developing it. Pretty easy to do when everybody's happy. You're winning championships, the GOAT's in town, and your fan base is actually selling out your home stadium and keeping those Giants jerseys the hell out of our home games and making the sea of red and pewter a beautiful thing to see, just like it was 2002 once again. That's what I like to see. That's what this preseason game was all about. It wasn't about the stats. I don't care about the stats. I don't care that all of our quarterbacks were technically under 50%. 55%. I don't care. It's preseason. There's certain things that need to be shown out for some of the kids. And damn, did they show out. And man, am I happy and excited for this season to come out. Had a couple of cuts today. One thing I wasn't happy to see, Cameron Kinley. It's kind of like when we drafted Calais Campbell and he had to go to the Rams. Wasn't happy to see it. I understand. It's what happens when you are a championship winning team. Can't keep everybody. But Cameron Kinley was cut. He is the Navy exempt that we had. I liked his play. 6 tackles across the board. Showed out in a couple of plays. They more than likely wanted to keep Antonio Hamilton. He's been around a little bit longer. Excuse me. But he will probably get his chance. He's got 3 weeks to get to another team here. He's going to see his chance. I actually don't personally like this. Think because he did good in the game, they should have kept him. I understand it's a business, and I'm not here. We won championships. Last year, we were complaining that we're going to bring Winston and back up Brady. What the hell? I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. But we also did release 2 other guys. I believe we have to release another 2 players to get under that 85 before a certain time. I will get back to you on that if we have any updates on it. But we have released Kinley, tight end Taquan Hampton, and wide receiver Josh Pearson in order to cut down the roster size, as I said. Again, Kinley was wasn't our pick. He was the undrafted free agent, I believe it was. I had the wrong name in front of me, so apologies to that. But yeah, Kinley is gone. I'm a little upset about that, only because he had potential. I mean, he was going to be one. I thought he was going to be on the roster, or at least be like the next Hagan, Wilcox, one of those guys, or not Wilcox, sorry, the safety that we have. Too many names to think of right now. But yeah, I didn't necessarily like it. I like the fact that we had him. So, but it is what it is. I get it. It's a business, and I'm not here to complain because we're going to go for another championship, and that's just the way it is. Bringing in some of the people, and then I'll get to some of the comments because I want to get your takes on the preseason games as well. Who did you like? Who didn't you like? Please don't overreact. You know how this show is. I love everybody. I love everybody's comments, but if you start overreacting, I'll come at you so hard like my French teacher did in grade 2. I will come at you. Not with French, though, because I'm really, really bad at French, even though my last name is French. I've recently found out that I am from the Quebec nation of Canada, and I'm supposed to speak in the French accent, and no. But if I do lose bets this year for fantasy football, I know it's something that's going to be used against me. This beard also is untouchable. I know somebody messaged me and was just like, if I beat you in fantasy football, you got to shave your beard. And I'm like, no. I'm like, how much money you want to put up then for that, buddy? Because you know how much work has gone into this thing? Okay. I still am pulling stuff out of this damn thing from like months ago. Like there's these little things. Anyway, you guys don't want to know about that. Let's get some of the miscreants in here to have a good time. Starting off with a man who did not pop in on his own. He actually made sure to get into the back of this show before. So he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it on purpose. But I love this man. Straight out of Alabama, Arkansas. I'm just kidding. He's from Oklahoma. Matt Colson.
Let me do some lighting in the studio. One moment.
Oh, not a problem. I do love the bounty sheets behind there. You're just cleaning up today, weren't you?
I want to bulk up so you don't see that.
Listen, I'm trying to bulk up too, and I've been eating as much as I can, and I'm still. It's not. Listen, I went from 2 almonds a day to 4. I'm throwing up everywhere. I can't do this. I'm trying, but it's not.
I actually took off. I was 242 pounds middle of last year. I'm down to 180.
What?
Yeah, I've been losing weight like an ice cube in the summertime, but it's not going where I want it to go. I was showing off to my co-host yesterday this second trimester I got going down here for a potbelly. I used to have an abs a six pack. Now it's a pony cake, and it won't go away.
Well, let's get another guy in here. I know he's got a pony keg. No, I'm just kidding. This man is probably slimmer than a Slim Jim and straighter than a Slim Jim. Steven Glasker, how we doing, my buddy?
Hey, Andrew, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Not too bad. Just all I did today, I was at an Edmonton Elks game. I figured since I can't just fly to Tampa, that I would try to see at least some form of Bucks entertainment. So I went to the Elks game. This is the former Edmonton football team, which was also known as the former Edmonton. So there's that. Yes, if that your microphones do not mute out there, that was me just mouthing it. I'm not privy to being kicked off of any platforms anymore. But no, I went to that game and I got to see James Wilder Jr. perform and show off for the Edmonton Elk as the starting running back. Actually, it was quite fun.
How'd he do?
Well, he did fantastic. I can tell you right now that the rest of his team did not.
Well, I'll tell you this, Andrew. You're correct. The pounds that, by the way, Matt, that's awesome, all that weight loss. The pounds that Matt lost, I found those. So I actually do have a pony cake. Might be a little larger than a pony cake.
Oh.
But I have one. And secondly, yesterday you were just busy being Canadian. I get it. It's okay.
Yep. I had to. This is the first time that I could actually get out. And it was quite funny because it was a North Sports Dynasty fan that had messaged me and said, I am buying you a ticket if you could please show up to the game. And I'm like, I mean, I can't really say no to that. I mean, how much are tickets? He's like, that's not even a question I found. I mean, he spent like $50 on a ticket, which is nice, but it was 2 tickets because we paid for children tickets and then literally just sat in any empty seat that we wanted because the Edmonton Elks have no fan base anymore.
That's the way the old sombrero used to be. You pay $5 to go up to the bleeder seats and work your way down like high school. They don't do that anymore. They got ushers on every.
And it does suck because at the Commonwealth Stadium, which is actually funny, I'm going to have a segment on one time to compare the Raymond James Stadium to Commonwealth Stadium that I have out here. They're actually not that far apart in capacity or look. And I mean, we do have this weird design where, you know, it's all the seats are green and then just splashing some yellow ones. There's some old yellow ones on this side and old yellow ones on this one, and then brand new ones right down the middle. It's like, you guys didn't really do it all properly, did you? So
they said nobody's going to notice. Every game's a sellout, so we'll just paint them purple. We don't give a damn.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Adding another person into the cheap seats tonight is the boss man himself.
Hey.
Dude. How we doing, boss man?
Well, somebody told me you were talking about weight loss and fat guys, so here I am.
I'm trying to have like a legitimate show first time in a while, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna get blamed as, you know, you're calling people fat, Mr. Faubert. There, you skinny Canadian. Like, well, I mean, if the boss says I'm calling people fat, then I'm calling people fat. But I literally opened the door for, I guess, pony belly.
Yeah, that's okay.
It'll happen to you, man.
Hey, can I just say, hey, NFL, why did you let the Buccaneers draft Joe Tryon? Why did you let him slide that far?
Right?
It was crazy.
It was really nice this morning. I got to hop on Tampa Bay Rays Morning Cup of Ray show, which was really nice. And he was telling me, he's like, have you seen anything yet? And I'm like, no, I'm literally just waking up from my hangover kind of thing. He's like, okay, good. You need to go check out these things. He's like, I'm not going to ruin the game for you, but you need to go check out these things for when your show gets on tonight. And I knew I forgot something. He said he wanted to get my take on it. Somebody send this damn link to Tampa Bay Ray so that he can come at me and I can apologize to him. But he did tell me a couple things to watch out for. One thing I kept hearing about was this Joe Tryon and every damn defensive play that he was on the field. It's like he's just right there. And it's so good to see because if JPP does get banged up, which I think is inevitably going to be the case here coming up, he is getting older, so he may have to take a game or two off. Joe Tryon's going to get his start, and I don't think he's going to give up that starting reign here once he can get it and once he gets it going. Because man,
Joe, the best way that I can describe what we saw with Joe Tryon last night is during the draft evaluation, they have that trait they call twitch or quick twitch.
Yep.
He's got like 5 twitches in a row, and he's at the quarterback. It's like bang, bang, bang. Yep. It was just it was systematic the way he. Granted, I mean, the guy kind of whiffed on the block, but it was because the guy was past him so fast.
Oh, yeah.
He looks to be dude, doesn't he weigh almost 300 pounds?
What does he weigh?
Somebody look that up. Because he's tall
second.
as, I won't use, it's not, I can't cuss. He's tall as all get out.
Yeah, right? Someone check the weight. I'm gonna say like 245, 250. What's he at?
6'5", 262 pounds, out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Damn.
Your champion, Joseph Tryon.
Damn.
It's a big boy.
Now, did he play for Louisville or did he play for Washington?
Played for Washington, but out of Louisville.
I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
The part about Louisville.
Oh, okay.
He reminds me a lot, as I was saying last night on our show. He reminds me a lot of JPP.
He does.
He's young, long extension man. He can get around the O line. He's faster, I think, than JPP. But you got to remember, JPP in his day was a beast.
Yes, he
was. In his day, he was a beast. And the fact that the man's never lost a playoff game kind of speaks to his talent.
You know who Tryon reminds me of is it's a combination because Shaq Barrett is Shaq Barrett. We've all kind of seen that. But Joe Tryon to me has a little bit of Shaq Barrett to him, and I think that's just because he's been masking him. But just call it the first preseason, call it what you want. People are probably going to come at me and be like, well, that's a lot. But I saw a lot of old Tuck. Like when Tuck used to play for, I believe it was Carolina there, the way that he would come off the edge sometimes, it blends in. He's just a perfect blend of what I'm so happy we have him.
It's kind of like a Simeon Rice in a way.
Yeah.
He's very, very quick off the ball.
That defensive end. Go ahead.
Well, that sack that he had flagged, he was in the backfield. It looked like he came out around that line about the time the center put it up to the quarterback instantly. Right. He was 2 steps in. That's the fastest move I've seen in a long time. And that was a beautiful hit. That one got me up off the couch. And I don't really care that much for preseason, but that 2-step pop.
He's like it's like a cobra. He's fast, but the hit is intense, man. He played well. So you haven't watched the whole game yet, Andrew?
So up here in Canada, this is going to sound so dumb because I know that you and actually a couple other people had tried to send me the link or just in the group chat itself to see the whole game through and through. I have seen about 91% of the game. There was an ability. Yeah, I know it's weird. 91%. I had this ability to go instead of watching I watched the main highlight films out of a couple of places, but I made sure to go and watch. There was a sports site that my one buddy sent me, and it's like you can click the players and all the plays that they did. So I watched all of Kyle Trask. I watched all of Keyshawn Vaughn. I watched all of Jalen Darden, and I watched most of Joe Tryon and was like, okay, this seems like a nice crop of crew that obviously can take this team a lot further when Brady's gone. But just in general for the whole game, Canada has this beautiful thing like, we don't want ESPN Plus. Why we got TSN? I'm like,
so basically, you watched all the really good highlights and you missed all the crap because there was a lot of crap.
I watched actually most of the crap. Actually,
can we all agree that hey, Ryan Griffin? I think it's time to move on, bro.
Yeah,
he's had enough.
Unless you just want to hold Brady up when he's drunk.
Now, wouldn't it be cool?
He's Brady's wingman all the time.
Right.
I figured this would be kind of cool. And if Johnny Dean was on the show, he would be like, oh, you can't. And it's not necessarily that. I really want to see now a developmental league for the NFL. I don't care if it's the XFL. I don't care if it's the CFL. I don't care if it's the AFL. I don't care what it is. I just want there to be an area for, say, the Buccaneers, now that they have 4 quarterbacks, right? And even taken to last year where they got Reed Sinnett, because Reed Sinnett looks pretty damn good for the Dolphins as well. When we've had him on Bucs Report and a few interviews with him, if we were able to keep some of those, say, practice squad guys for under 2-year contracts in the minor league and let them develop through the system and then they become like real undrafted free agents, maybe we wouldn't have, kept Ryan Griffin on for so long, but at least we could have, put Ryan Griffin in the developmental league for 2 years, after.
Wasn't that what he was in? He was playing third string for 3 years now?
Right.
That's developmental. He's gotten a hell of a lot more line than a bunch of other quarterbacks at his caliber.
True, but it is always squad. it is always better to go out and showcase, right? Like, I mean, there is a reason why Johnny Manziel eventually was like, all right, screw this. I do have to go to the CFL just to show everybody that, like, oh, I can do this. And 4 interceptions and 1 half later and 5 to end the game. It's like, yeah, this is a reason why this is, something that you practice for.
Now he's in like a beer league in Jersey somewhere, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's probably where he belongs.
I also agree. But the one thing, though, like, I'll never take away from his highlight film for Texas A&M. Like that kid phenomenal. Was a animal, and I mean animal.
No, Mike Evans was the reason he looked so good.
I agreed, and there was another target on that team as well. But some of those scrambles and just some of the things that he did, like the little jukes and stuff like that in college, like it worked. Most of those times he was running for his life for sure, but he still made it work. And the highlight film is still awesome. And yes, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this way the hell down there and hope my 6'6.5" wide receiver can grab it. So,
and then I'm gonna try and sober up on the sidelines. Johnny Manziel is a cautionary tale that talent alone ain't gonna make it happen. You're gonna have to have a little more than talent.
Exactly.
You gotta study. You gotta know you gotta know what's going on. Now, to get back to what you were saying really quickly about the game, I'll pump the brakes a little bit. Trust me, I love what Joe Tryon did. Mm-hmm. However, he is a number 1 talent up against second stringers, so he's gonna look a little better. I like to see what he looks like when he's up against first string players and see if he has that same kind of timing, that same kind of quickness, that same kind of push. I mean, up against second and third stringers, he looked like a beast. I mean, let's be real.
Now,
like the Jew said, Ryan Griffin, bro.
Yeah, I know,
bro.
If the Tampa Bay Vipers were, say, the affiliate to the Buccaneers, but like that was their minor league developmental, so you're only like your starting player on the Vipers is technically you're under your contract and you can only have one of them at each position, and then everything else is all undrafted, like come show off, blah 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 kind of deal. That's what it should be. One thing I was going to say to that, though, is because I've also seen this used by, I mean, it's a lot of Aints fans on Twitter, but it is something to bring up. When we did have Brady up on there, Donovan Smith and Tristan Wirfs did let like 2 second stringers come through our starting line and get at Brady. So a lot of people also looked at that being like, overpaid. Your line, all it was just off of hype. Now it's going to come back down to earth and go back to the same old Buccaneers O-line again. It's like, well, again, this is preseason, right? Using that obviously goes to what Steven is saying as well. It's like, this is preseason. We do have to take into consideration. And I used that as my rant yesterday on the North Sports Dynasty show. Everybody go check it out. We did a mock draft. It was fun. Basically what I said was like, this is preseason. Like, do not effing overreact here to anything that you see. That being said, there's certain things that happen in preseason with certain players that are drafted at certain positions. Let's say AKA quarterbacks, right? Trey Lance did not necessarily look good. He's got one highlight reel and he looked like he knows what he's about to do. He just couldn't execute it the way that he wanted to. That's how.
Didn't he hit an 80-yard bomb?
He did, but if you look at the rest of his stats and the rest of that
was
film,
about it. Yeah,
that wasn't the greatest. But he does have a good eye for it. Like,
hey, who has a more punchable face than Johnny Manziel, though?
That's true.
Ryan Leaf? Have you seen Ryan Leaf nowadays?
Ryan Leaf. And then back in the day, yeah, but Johnny Manziel, you just really want to hit him.
And Joe Burrow to an extent.
I was actually going to say, just so that I can get some fan love here, some Joe Buck.
No, Joe Buck. At some point, Joe, you have to understand something. Not even Troy likes you anymore.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but
I mean, Troy, why do you look so much like Jay-Z?
Is it just me, or does Troy just look done? Like,
hey, I'm telling you right now, go look at Troy Aikman's picture.
Yeah,
especially these laters in his years where he's gained a little weight, and just say that's basically Jay-Z without pigmentation, dude. Like he's a white Jay-Z almost.
Has he been getting those lip injections and Botox?
And Joe Buck looks like the guy you have to cover your drinks when you're around him.
Yeah.
See, this just made this way too easy for me, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Speaking of faces you want to punch, everybody, welcome Rick to the show. It just was way too easy.
Listen, man. Stephen Glasgow just got way excited with that intro.
That was hilarious.
I apologize.
I've always thought it, but I didn't want to say it.
No, I saw the icon of someone popping up, and I was like, oh, like as long as it's not Teresa, they're gonna get it. And I saw it was Rick, and I'm like, oh, damn it, here we go.
That was
My
hilarious.
other boss. It was kind of never mind.
That was awesome.
It's not. You're not the first to say that.
But believe me, I do not mean it. Okay, if I could punch anybody in the world in the face, you would definitely be at one of the bottom of those lists. There's a lot of people I would get you first.
But you're still on the list.
What you're saying?
I mean, technically,
what he's really saying
Nice
we're
to
not
know I'm on the list.
He's really saying we're not even worth punching.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess that's even worse to Americans. It's like,
Actually,
wait,
he's
what?
saying. Actually, he's saying to dude, he's going. I've never even seen your face. So,
Well, it sounds like he's saying.
Very true.
It sounds like he's saying he'd crawl over the three of us just to punch you in the face, Rick.
yeah, well,
It's a lot of violence on this show.
yeah.
Welcome to America. We stir our eggs in the morning with our gun.
Yeah.
Actually,
America.
That's not pepper on your eggs. That's gunpowder, bro.
that's why they sparkle when you eat it.
I sure am glad I stopped by tonight.
We've covered guns. We've covered white
Violence.
Jay-Z,
White Jason. White Jason.
punchable Manziel.
Yes.
What else do we got? Oh, hey, can we say, hey, Giovanni Bernard, maybe you should have kept the stash. I like the stash, man. You shaved the stash off, Gio.
Yeah.
As long as he
come on,
plays
man.
well, I don't care. As long as he plays well, I don't care.
Exactly. That.
I think he's gonna play very
Hey,
well.
you guys know that meme of what's the guy's name where he's pointing at the TV all shocked, holding a drink in his hand, like, hey, that's
Leo.
my that's what every Bucs fan when a third down back came out of the backfield and caught a pass for a first down. They're like, hey, we've heard about that.
Raise your hand if you think that guy's going to have a bigger role than just third downs.
Oh yeah.
I've already laid in bed saying this now. I do think that Giovanni Bernard
Whoa. Yeah.
laid my bed. Laid my bed. Is that the wrong
I
term?
don't want to know what you've been laying in your bed thinking.
Laying in your bed thinking about Giovanni Bernard.
Giovanni Bernard. The way Stephen Che, is it Stephen Che? Is that how you say his last name? You guys know what I'm talking about? The Barstool
Yes.
Buccaneers super fan?
Stephen
yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Che. The way that he's been saying his name is like Giovanni Bernard. Like, yeah, that's the way that needs to go. Like basically like Borat, yeah.
Like Borat's Italian brother.
I think
Father
Giovanni
Guido
Bernard's going to
Sarducci.
have over 1,500 yards all purpose. I do think whether it's running or catching, I do think he's going to get over 1,500 yards.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
Yeah, and I know again, we don't want to overreact, but the one little play they made that play up on third down. They're like, we are making sure that Giovanni Bernard gets this. When he broke down, that's an option play right there. It's either going left or it is going right, based on what Brady and him see. And if that connection,
I ask you guys something?
Go right ahead.
Okay, we saw a whole lot of Fournette right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a lot of Keyshawn Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Giovanni Bernard. One guy was the odd man out.
Yeah.
Where was Rojo?
Yeah, that guy that got 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, 990 something. Yeah, where was Rojo?
I mean,
I know. I'm not giving you an
I know where
opinion
he
on
was.
it. It's an observation.
I can answer that question, Rick. I know where he was.
Yeah.
He was the guy that when he got the ball, the run, he got 0 yards. That's where he was.
Yeah.
That's true.
He did run the ball a couple of times.
He ran the ball and got 0 yards.
Yeah.
Rojo. So according to obviously NFL.com, I had to check the top, make sure I got it right. Rojo, did only carry one time for 0 yards. And then looking down just to see his targets here. I don't
But
actually.
it was hard fought.
Yeah, I don't.
Hard fought 1 yard.
Yeah, I don't see. I see that Daquan Hampton was targeted. TJ Simmons, who the hell is that? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I agree. It's not necessarily looking good, but not to say there's a simple answer, but one of the things that kind of goes into this is the same thing that happened last year with Chris Godwin, bringing in Antonio Brown and drafting another wide receiver was basically, we're taking some of those receptions out of your pocket, and no offense, that drives a little bit of your price respectively down, unless of course you go above and beyond your yardage and your targets and touchdowns, what you had last year, but we're not going to necessarily aim for that.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing with Rojo here. I do think they're going to try and go a little bit more Fournette, because when he's like, all right, I want money, it's like, okay, cool. We're not paying you. We're not paying Rojo the money that you guys want. You can either stay in-house and continue this culture that we have, or we have Vaughn, and more than likely we'll have a couple of other running backs that you will either get on free agency or through the draft next year.
Something to throw out there is that you guys remember how last year was kind of the first year ever that the trade deadline actually meant something, where all of a sudden people started moving around and all that.
Yep.
Guys, if we have this much depth at running back, because Keyshawn Vaughn looked pretty good, if we have this kind of depth at running back come trade deadline time, I don't know. So, I kind of like the idea of keeping him around as depth. Now, listen, the next game, you may see a ton of Rojo, and nothing we saw in the first game mattered, and everything we're speculating about right now, we can forget about a week from now. That may be the case. It was just odd that he was the one guy that they just didn't use.
And of course,
how much different does that whole preseason game play out if Antonio Brown catches that deep ball from Brady? Obviously, Brady's going to stay on the field,
right?
And now they're in the red zone, so we might have seen Rojo. It might have been like you get 2 to 3 carries, Fournette, you get 2 to 3 carries, Rojo, we get off the field. But they went 4 and out, 5 and out, basically.
Yeah,
basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Was Antonio Brown off, or was it Brady that was off on that throw? Because it looked like
Brady might have been a slight off.
Well, it wasn't an easy catch. It's preseason. There's a lot of that that goes into it.
He definitely had to adjust to the ball, though. But it was right there, dude.
I understand.
Yeah, Rondé said he should have. I believe.
Go ahead, Steven.
Who was a little concerned that our O-line did not play well against Cincinnati's defense.
No.
I was like, really, guys? Cincinnati, this shouldn't be that hard.
Dude,
it's always this way at the beginning. It's always this way.
Now, Cincinnati's depth roster, obviously they don't have necessarily much on O-line. But if you look at the depth roster for their defensive ends and their defensive tackles, they kind of are going the Patriots route, where it's, we're not just going to have one and then, we'll have a D- to C+ guy in there. We'll go with a C+ to B- crew from the first crew that come out, and then the second crew. It does seem this weird pattern that a couple of teams are trying to use. One, to save money, because obviously you don't want to be stuck with, say, Khalil Mack. If Khalil Mack did not produce like Khalil Mack, you don't want that contract.
Right.
Or you don't want to be stuck on these first round picks, because they are still very expensive as well, and they're not producing like they are, or being stuck with, Yannick Ngakwe's situation that he was last year either.
Right.
I do think a lot of these guys, a lot of these teams, if they have the ability where they're like, we got a few guys here, let's just go to the market and grab a couple other guys respectively cheap. Now, 3 years, $35 million isn't necessarily cheap, and going after that one guy for $65 million, I was like, all right. But if that's the way that they want to play the game, sure. And I know, again, it's just preseason, but they kind of showed a little bit of, all right, we're going to be nasty. We are going to just do this. We don't really have anything else. So we are just going to attack. We're going to use our offense to do whatever we can. And we're going to use our defensive line to try to at least disrupt whatever they can. And that's going to be the way that Cincinnati runs for at least the next 2 years. So,
right.
I feel like the offense doesn't run anything. The offense does not run. They run pure, just plain vanilla offense. Yep. So the offensive line is not running the same kind of stunts and all kinds of things that they will be. There's no motion. you're not showing all the stuff you're going to do during the season that helps the offensive line. So,
George.
yeah, I mean, Tristan Wirfs gave up a sack. Are you really worried about Tristan Wirfs?
Nope.
I mean, no, it's because they played different. It was just a different. Everybody, it's preseason. I got my post that Adam Schefter said. You know, I will not overreact preseason.
Yep.
I will not overreact preseason. I will not overreact preseason. But you know, that's what we do here.
And here's
It's
the
our
thing:
job.
and that's the thing is, I should technically be doing better at my job, because if anything, I should have kept with my last year narrative of, I don't think we should necessarily play Donovan Smith this money. And then when we did, I obviously came around. I'm like, I do like the idea of keeping him instead of trying to go for a left tackle. It was a lot of convincing on my end, but I'm like, I do see the veteran side of it. I really do. But if I wanted to get viewership and people in the comments being like, this Canadian's an idiot, I'd be like, do you not see what Donovan Smith and Tristan Wirfs just did yesterday? Get them both off. It's $16.5 million overpaid. Get this left tackle out of here. Jason Peters just signed with the Bears for nothing and blah, blah, blah. If I really wanted to get so many views for that, but I'm sorry, dude. I didn't want to do a bullcrap narrative like that.
Well, at the beginning of last year, there was a lot of people saying that, myself included.
Yeah.
By about the fifth game, he actually figured out how to play football, and it all went away. But for the last year with Jameis, every time there was a play, a flag came down, it was Donovan Smith. Every time, holding, all the time. And then last year, like I said, around the third or fourth week, you never heard of Donovan Smith again. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But he really converted into somebody completely different.
The offense they ran a different offense because of Brady versus Winston, and it changed. I mean, it changed. Listen, Tom Brady makes your offensive line better. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
I want to point out something that this actually, I know that Joe Tryon is listed behind JPP, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a question about that because you remember Joe Tryon coming off the edge for that horribly just so unsportsmanlike.
The preseason unsportsmanlike,
Yes, the ass kicking that happened to the quarterback. Yeah. That's not JPP's side of the ball, is it?
Nope.
JPP is on the other side, and so is Sue. So are they looking at him? Are they looking at him coming off the other edge instead of actually being behind? Because think about it, JPP plays the other side, and I know what we're listing on the depth chart. But what did you get? I mean, that's not what we saw.
Nope. I have a weird feeling that I think this is just another weapon to Todd Bowles' system where he may just find a way to try and get all three of them on the field at the same time. I'm not, and again, not to say, preseason, like, oh, dude, no, even just the drafting of him, I was like, wow.
How was that?
That's the way Twitter is to me. Like I wake up sometimes and I pop on Twitter and I'm like, okay, I gotta study for the show tonight.
What is dude saying?
Well, yeah, what's up, dude?
What? Jeff George, Eli Manning, Scott Milanovic, Richard Todd. Punchable.
Random thought for the day.
I was like, we're just naming random names. Okay.
Speaking of Chicago, by the way, the Bears. I tell you what, Justin Fields looked pretty good.
Well, that was going to be one of the kind of the comment I was trying to make earlier. Whereas in preseason games, you can overreact to some of these players going off, like that Q Watkins dude in Philadelphia. Okay, he's still going to be the fifth stringer, guys. When I see everybody pick him up on fantasy football, I'm like, cool, more players for me to pick for. Nice. And in this case, I had something popped up on my computer. The player you were just saying there again, Steven, my apologies. Justin Fields is one of those players where I'm like, if you give him the opportunity to play a preseason game and he only misses 3 opportunities and he doesn't throw an interception or he just has a good game, that's that you can overreact about, because that's more than likely what he is going to look like after his first full season is done. He still is going to have bad games. Like, he might have a game where he's 11 for 28, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he ran for 33 yards. And then you look at, I was going to say, and then you look at the.
Listen, I've seen a lot worse than that game.
No, I know, but you also know how Bears fans are. They'd be like, this is unacceptable. It'd be like, okay, but it's raining in Soldier Field, man.
Right.
Like, relax.
Well, now to be fair to Justin Fields, he actually did start off bad. I mean, he
yes, he did.
20-yard pick. It almost got picked off. And then he tried to run the ball and he fumbled it. But luckily the Bears got it back. But when he finally started to settle down, hey, let me tell you what, that kid's got some wheels, man.
Yes, he does.
That kid has some wheels.
And credit to Johnny Dean, because I'm not even, it's not even because I'm Canadian. I will never be egotistical and be like, I said this, unless it's, of course, somebody who's very egotistical comes on a show and they're like, I'm always right. To be like, well, okay, if I'm right, I'm coming at you.
Who does that?
Right? Definitely nobody on this panel. It's definitely maybe some other people on some other shows, on some other panels.
Mike Glennon.
Wow. Mike Glennon. Absolutely.
Oh, you know what? That is probably the most punchable face in the NFL.
Carson
Manning's
Palmer.
forehead.
Does he still have a job?
Carson Palmer.
Mike Glennon.
Oh, wait. Chicago quarterback.
Yeah. Justin
Andy
Fields.
Dalton.
No. Who?
Foles.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
No. For years, Chicago Bears quarterback.
Rex Grossman, Jay Cutler.
No.
Cutler.
Cutler had.
Yeah, that's a
punchable
punchable face.
I don't want to punch Cutler's face because Cutler
But here's the thing.
was a very good quarterback. He just didn't care.
Yeah,
He'd
he's,
be a
and
good
he just got
quarterback.
Twitter.
About him, he might come back and tear your head off. That's one of
He
those.
just
quiet
got
ways
Twitter
to
again.
back to the
Quarterback
bar.
might have a punchable face.
Oh yeah. He just got Twitter again, and it's some of the funniest crap I have seen in a long time.
He's actually a funny guy.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I do agree with the dude though.
Phillip Rivers.
Glenn.
Oh, don't punch Phillip Rivers.
No, Phillip Rivers. Yeah, no, he got
his oldest though.
Yeah,
Maybe his oldest.
No, you can't punch Phillip Rivers. He has Johnny's number of kids.
Warren
He's got
Sapp.
more.
No, he's chasing Johnny.
Oh, that's
Current.
right. That's right.
I'll say it. Current Warren Sapp.
Dude, Johnny's got kids in like 5 different time zones, dude.
Yeah, see, everybody was like, whoa, the Canadian. Listen, settle down there.
Johnny has kids in 5 different decades.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's got some from teenage, some from the 40s.
Some of the
His
Go ahead.
kids hit every demographic.
he's got kids up in Canada. I literally just passed one in Walmart today, dude. It was insane.
Did he tell you what you were doing wrong?
See, dude, now you're gonna get everybody to hate me. Why does everyone? Why is all the hate? Is it me? Does everyone just want to punch me? Is that just what it
real
is?
Quick, though, also, both Carr brothers.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
That ain't right.
Christopher
John
Cole
Gruden
says,
sometimes. John Gruden sometimes.
Oh, John Gruden all the time.
Hey, what's up, everyone? If you guys in the comment section have anybody that you want to punch in the face, please let us know. That seems to be the very popular topic for tonight.
Wow.
Hashtag punch in the face, except not Rick. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Andrew wants to punch Rick in the face. That's great.
Shannon
Great.
Sharp.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely.
No, Skip Bayless.
Yes.
I'd get in
Skip
line with those guys.
Bayless.
Listen, I don't want to punch his face. I mean, I don't want to punch him because of his face. I just want to punch Shannon Sharp because he's Shannon Sharp, because of everything that comes out of his face.
Yeah, I would
That's
agree with that.
exactly the same reason I want to punch him in the face. If it wasn't for the fact that he's 8 feet tall and built like a
I couldn't get up there to punch his face.
Eugene Thomas says the North. Christopher Cole, jump ship, everyone. That was through a comment earlier there. Teresa Baxter, hey, Andrew. Hello,
Hey,
Teresa. Thank you for tuning in. David Mosier, the interception that Winston threw was not his fault. The ball hit the receiver's hands, both of them, and the corner knocked it out into the safety's hands. You can't blame that on him. When he hits the receiver and both his hands, Rick Hughes tried to say the same crap
Yes.
last night.
And you know what? David Moser's right. I went back
How did
and
my
watched
name
that.
end up in the middle of that sentence?
And watched that. I
Whoa.
watched the highlights. Whoa!
Oh, Jesus.
Look at the house. Look at this cool house. Hey, Rick.
Sorry about that.
Rick got so
Rick
offended
got
at
hardwood-
that, David.
Rick has hardwood floor. It's nice. No,
Yes,
I
I
went back
do.
and watched that.
Dude, there's an earthquake in Charlotte, bro.
That was awesome. Hey,
Breaking news.
I watched the highlights of that
No,
game.
my
I'm telling
condo
you
did
what,
not just collapse.
Taysom Hill had a
Too
far
early? Too
worse
soon?
game than Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston actually
We can
didn't have
hear
a
you,
bad
Rick,
game, and that pick was not his fault. He hit the receiver in the hands, the guy popped it up in the air, and it got picked up.
Honestly,
He threw
it too
I
hard.
don't care. Jameis threw it. Woohoo!
Here's the thing, though.
It
Just
still
to
counts
comment
towards
on
30, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Isn't that still 1 of 30?
No, when I'm talking about the contrast between him and Taysom Hill, and the insult to
It's
injury,
awesome.
they started Taysom Hill first.
So
I know.
Taysom Hill first, and
Matt.
he played like crap.
Matt, did you just say Jameis 1 of 30?
Yeah, that's what he threw last night.
I'm telling you guys,
Well,
he's not gonna. I agree
dude,
with Eric. He's
it
not gonna have
doesn't
that
matter.
bad season.
Yeah, but Steven,
Oh,
it doesn't
great. Here
matter.
goes the Twitter inbox blowing up.
No, I was just gonna say the dude's gonna make a comment. I'm not. Nope. But what I was gonna say to this,
Hey, man. Why are you guys talking about me, man?
don't stop it. Here's the thing. Think of this for 1 second. Think of when in hockey, right? Sidney Crosby, everybody kind of knows when he cries and he bitches and complains on the ice. First thing you see in the news, or just here in Canada, when the Maple Leafs do bad, first thing you see in the news, kind of dealio. Baseball, Don Cherry. Baseball, when the Yankees do bad, it's the first thing that you usually see on the news. I'm just trying to think of one other player here. I'll even use Peyton Manning. When Peyton Manning used to throw interceptions after interceptions for those games, because we're not going to deny that he did, because he did. But we still were, they came at him. Why? Because he was supposed to be one of the greats, or because his name generated media attention. Now that we've finally
made him that way.
Or they made him that way. And that's kind of what I was leading into is nowadays social media is past kind of just the newspaper and it's kind of got more past the mouth to mouth. Now it's Twitter to Twitter, email to email, first thing that pops up on your Facebook, the new norm. Some of these highlights that you see, whether they were, not saying anything bad to Bucs Report, but whether it was from Bucs Report or any other nation putting an article, whether it was the first one that popped up on your timeline or the third, the mind is going to start remembering the article names and the clips, and Winston threw this again. Winston threw that again. So if it clicks,
See, but he created this stuff though.
Well,
I mean, he made himself. He's got a legend behind him. The guy throws interceptions in mass.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
not
and
make
so what
it
you
sound
do
like
is-
let's not make it sound like Jameis throwing interceptions is a media creation.
How
Okay.
Wait.
it's
No,
not a media creation.
not.
It's something. It's a topic that got taken too far by a fan base and certain media outlets. Not say Bucs Report or anything like
Did
that.
it really?
Did it
really
I
get taken
completely
too
agree.
far?
No, I agree with Andrew because we didn't have this kind of stuff when it came to Peyton Manning. He threw 2 less interceptions than Jameis threw.
Hold
in
on.
1 year.
28
The Bucs
interceptions
changed
in one
the
season.
Bucs changed to
And it-
Tom Brady from Jameis Winston, and look at what happened.
Yep.
In 1 year.
Yep.
No, I agree.
So
I'm not disagreeing with that.
hold on. I'm not going to say that the interceptions are a media creation or media hype or something like that. I'm not going to do it. I don't believe that. I believe Jameis threw bad interceptions. It wasn't just that he threw picks. Okay, yeah, I mean, but he was breaking records for throwing picks, and some of them were horrifying. Okay,
So did Peyton Manning his first year.
Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, 1 year.
Jameis did
There's
it
a
5
difference,
years.
Steven.
Hold on, guys. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead, dude.
The biggest failure in Jameis Winston's career thus far is that he hasn't secured an endorsement deal with either the Deadliest Catch or Red Lobster. Okay? Yes, he's a very lovable guy. Yes, he has a cannon for an arm. Yes, he can put up big stats. But let's be honest, man. You're talking to a guy from Tallahassee who defended him from before the draft,
right
through the draft, and then took it in the rear end for 4 years because
You
It's
did
not
what?
like
That's more info than I needed.
well, okay, took it in the cheeks, grabbed my ankles, whatever you want to call it.
Still more info than I needed.
Can't be
point being-
canceled if it's my boss, but go ahead.
The point being is the social media war with Jameis Winston started right about the Oregon playoff game in college.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Right.
those that supported him when he got drafted by the Bucks, yours included, took it hard from people for 4 years. And then the 5th year, we're just like, look, dude, you got to do something. And 30 for 30, ESPN. So come on. No, sorry, tapping out. Deadliest Catch, you can make a guest appearance. And how come no one ever mentioned Jameis Winston to host Jeopardy?
Because he's an idiot.
God.
Well,
All he can
you're-
say
That was the
I'm
low
gonna have
key
to play
joke, Matt.
ball.
to
Matt,
play
you're saying
devil's
the
advocate,
inside part out loud.
to play devil's advocate to myself here for a second, to kind of join Rick for a second as well, is there was already media outlets that would technically, beat up the quarterbacks, say in Baltimore when Joe Flacco started to kind of deteriorate, or when Sanchez had the butt fumbled. Though, take New York and Chicago and some of those big markets out, be the same thing in Cincinnati or Atlanta and stuff like that. I do kind of agree with that. But the fact that nowadays, when you look at your media, say Good Morning Football or, any of the other big products, things that they like to throw in there is that little, who's the starting quarterback in New Orleans? Because it's a now fun media thing to spin, right? Is it Taysom or is it Jameis? And the only reason they like to spin that is because of a said narrative that has already existed with Jameis Winston.
Right.
Wouldn't exist.
Right.
It's not existing in Chicago with, say, Andy Dalton and
Because
Nick Foles, right?
Chicago has sucked, and New Orleans
True.
has been a
No,
division
I'm
winner
telling you
for
what,
years.
It's
That's
starting
fair.
to exist now. It's starting to become a deal now, because I'm telling you, if Justin Fields has a game, the next 2 preseason games, like he had this last game, and Chicago starts Andy Dalton anyway, those coaches are going to get fired.
Matt Nagy's already gone.
To be fair,
the
not
new
one-
guy's going to get fired. I'm telling you.
To be fair, not one NFL team offered Winston a decent starting contract when he was a free agent.
Look, his first
Why
pass
would they?
ever was a pick six.
And
His
his
last
last
pass with
pass.
the Bucks was a pick six.
Yeah.
He threw 30 interceptions. Okay,
Hey,
30
that's called
interceptions
bookending.
last year.
Yes, that's a
also-
bookend.
He threw
It's
more pick
consistency.
sixes in one season than Brady did in a decade, and
Rick
that's
is
not
ranting.
exaggerating. Okay, that's an actual fact.
Brady only did that.
Make Rick big screen.
Brady only did that because of Belichick, right?
Right? Yeah, it was, it was all Belichick.
I think Winston deserves a chance, Rick.
Winston's
Why,
got unlimited.
he's had
Winston's got great talent.
6 years now.
I'm not
give
gonna
him-
lie.
Give him
He
a
He deserves a
chance.
chance, Rick.
A good
Come on,
play-
Rick. Why
Listen.
doesn't he deserve a chance?
Well, here's the thing.
He deserves a chance.
Whoa! Don't you start playing with stuff on my show. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say this with regards to Winston. I know why the Saints do. A lot of divisions do like to not say steal, but there is a pattern of first round quarterbacks who don't necessarily pan out. They sometimes stay within division or AFC, NFC usually. And the Saints have already had we've played them. We've kind of seen them more than all these other teams. We kind of like them. That's usually what happens. But if, say, he had an opportunity like Tyrod Taylor and some of these, stop-go quarterbacks for a year or two, if he started just accepting that role, he may actually be able to, go to Washington and beat out, say, Ryan Fitzmagic and actually show off if he did have the skill set.
That
right?
dude's awesome. That dude is awesome and is having a great year.
Hey,
No, I-
I'll say this.
I just wanted to mess with him.
People hate on me for saying this, but you watch. Jameis Winston will have a Ryan Fitzmagic career.
Oh yeah,
He'll be around for 10 years as a backup.
Yep. And listen, there's a couple of places right now. Like, throw him in
Look at his
Houston.
workout videos; they're phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
But throw him
Boy's
in
got some
Houston.
steps.
What are you doing? I'm doing my pillow workout.
Oh my God! Oh, that.
You gotta fall down. You gotta fall down, Andrew. Fall over. You gotta fall over.
I'm doing my sack fall workout. I'm doing my sack fall workout.
Oh. Oh man!
Damn.
You know what?
Check the sheet.
That guy, I would rather watch Jameis do all that stuff than watch Ryan Fitzpatrick throw one pass because I hate him so much. But you know,
Dude, that
speaking of Ryan
really,
Fitzpatrick,
there's probably counseling you could get.
no, bro. Look, I don't like people stealing money, and that mother's been stealing money.
Dude,
They
I'm
sat him
literally-
down last year winning.
Cannot stand
Steven,
him. Bro,
they sat him
did
down
you-
in Miami while he was winning. He didn't even earn a bench. He was out there
I'm-
acting like he was going to play.
I'm
and
literally
they put him
over.
as cubic zirconia. He's
Hold on.
cubic
Go ahead.
zirconia.
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
I'm literally over here Googling male strippers that look like Fitzmagic in the Dallas, Texas area.
Don't ever even think about it. Look, I watched that game just like you got. I don't know. You
Oh my
I
God.
think
I watched.
I think it
Listen,
would be cheaper just to send me down there with one of my dresses. Don't you?
I think we can
Gross.
actually do a GoFundMe, and that could happen.
No, look, I'm telling you, I
We could
watched
probably
the
fly
Washington
somebody
game.
in.
Did you watch the Washington game? Did you watch the Washington preseason game?
Fitzmagic.
Did you watch the Washington preseason game? Because I'm telling you right now, Heineke looked better than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's
Isn't he
effing
supposed to?
preseason. Trask look better than Brady.
I'm
Hey, is
telling
anybody
you,
else is anybody else getting used to the Washington football team just to keep it that way with the W?
Yeah.
I
I
am.
kind of do.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
I
Even-
think I think that's actually makes them cooler than anything else right
Yeah.
now.
Agreed. I just hope that like everybody doesn't start doing that. You know, like, okay, now we're gonna all start getting soccer names. You know,
That would make Green Bay the
No.
Peas.
The
Packers, no?
Peas?
The Peas
Yeah.
Cleveland United.
or the G's?
I mean, come on.
The Cleveland baseball team.
No, it's the Guardians. Why did
Yeah,
they
I know,
name it
but-
Cleveland Rockers?
But the Browns, let's make them
Cleveland
the
Rockers.
Cleveland United. I mean,
Cleveland
come on.
Rouge.
Stop it. I hope they change
Cleveland, the
name. I'm
water
tired of
is
saying
on
Washington.
fire.
I'm tired of saying Washington.
Jesus.
What is on
Let's
fire?
let's try to get to some of these comments. Yeah, our offensive line didn't look too good, especially our starting offensive line. But it's preseason again.
They were playing that swinging gate offense.
There you go.
the Swiss cheese kind.
It was the Olay.
Vita Veda probably put in a good word for Tryon. Listen, I was very happy to see that we got two Washington linemen basically run one after another. Like Washington is producing good defensive lineman talent, just like Iowa is producing tight end talent. Like,
All right, be honest. When you guys see Vea on TV talking, but you don't hear him, what voice do you hear in your head?
The
like
Mauna Loa guy from the cartoon.
Exactly.
I hear Maui.
Is that his name, Maui?
Disney.
He's named
Maui.
after the whole freaking island.
Yeah.
Do you not
Maui-
watch
remember-
Disney?
Yeah, the
No,
Disney
dude,
movie.
no. I got my
Moana.
pubes in the '80s.
Bro, I'm telling you, look at Vita Vea and go watch Moana. He looks just like Maui.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
hold on. What the heck was
It was like
that?
'82
Sorry,
when everything
my
dropped.
clothes are dry.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
Hey, tell your mom to get your laundry and fold it for you.
Mom!
No.
Meatloaf!
At least he's not doing laundry by hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's past that. He's past that. We're past that. Wait. Sorry. Tryon looked good last night. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
He's trying so hard to talk football. We're over here like dick, butt, boob.
Listen, I know how this show goes.
Wait,
I'm already.
Wait. We're all doing that, dude?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What, we?
When you laugh, you're complicit.
Oh man.
Mr. Irrelevant looked pretty good last night too. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to see what Grant Stewart was going to do. I honestly, KJ Britt. I again, a couple of missed opportunities here and there, but just like we saw Joe Tryon in the backfield a lot, KJ Britt was around almost every tackle. So
That-
He makes
He's
a
around
great
that one
water
fumble.
filter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
34. Is that right?
30.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't he? Yeah, he's the guy who intercepted it, and then just
Hagen.
Like, oh, that. Yeah, it was Hagen.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you call it the ghost fumble?
I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, he got clocked by nobody.
That was a
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I got it. Oh my god, I got it. Oh my god. Oh crap.
Hot potato. It was.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
wow.
That just shows you why he's not on the
help
offense.
himself, though? You know,
It was
he
like
helped
he
himself
looked
last-
like a high school virgin trying to pin on a corsage on prom night. I mean,
Wow.
it was.
I
Wow.
was gonna say, listen,
No.
up here in Canada, we were just taught that like cornerbacks are just wide receivers who couldn't catch. So
They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have prom in
exactly.
Canada.
There are
Don't,
two
don't
Jones-
ask how I knew that.
we don't have
There-
prom in Canada. That's for
there
sure.
were two Joneses. The two Joneses. They probably they helped.
Oh,
themselves. One was
also,
a wide
why-
receiver.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. No,
So
you're
go
I
ahead.
was a wide receiver that trashed through the ball to that. I mean that.
That threw
beautiful
that
ball
drop.
to-
Yeah, that completely
that
just
dropped it.
whoop. Yeah.
And then, but Joe Jones, the defensive guy, man, what, 53, I think his number. Man, that was a phenomenal interception. And
Yes.
and that's the kind of thing that can get you noticed and maybe keep you on the team. That was good. I like that.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, that is good.
Joe Kenda.
Oh,
This guy is getting me aroused. Woo. I appreciate it. Listen,
whoa!
intro-
What guy? What guy?
I think.
Why
I
do you
think
want to
they-
know, Steven?
I think
I
they were
think it's
talking
you,
about my
Rick.
intro
I
here,
think
bro.
it's you, Rick. I think
I
it's
hope-
you.
or Matt.
Now wait a minute. Why now, Steven, why do you think that? And why are you thinking that?
I'm hoping. It's
That's
not
what I
me.
wanna know.
I'm pretty sure it's you, Rick.
Wow.
Rick, how do you
That's quite kind of you, Steven.
how do you
But-
introduce
You're
him on
hot.
your show again?
Rick, you're hot, man. I can't help it.
I don't. I stopped doing that a while ago on purpose, and now you know
Sure.
why.
I
And you know what, Andrew, you know something, Andrew. I just noticed something. Hey, Matt, did you notice that Rick actually came on camera? No
Ooh.
pun intended. he actually showed his face on camera tonight, but he couldn't bother to do that last night. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I'm not. Well, yeah, it was late. He didn't have his makeup on. It's one of those things.
He,
It's
did,
okay.
he was wearing some dress. I get it.
You're really gonna go at Rick for wearing a dress when I own more than my own fiance?
like Andrew is begging for us to say, dude, you should wear a dress on your show.
Dude, I forgot about
I'm pretty
that.
sure if Keith went back through our messages far enough, he'd find that one little clip where we did talk about dresses. He's like, bro, you wear dresses? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, sweet. And I'm like, yeah. That's all it was.
We should make a wager. We should make
Why?
a wager
You know
for
what?
the end of the season. We need to,
What?
if and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about last night, Steven. If we go 20-0,
Oh my goodness.
Andrew Faubert is going to
Andrea.
put on a dress.
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me? He'll do it just to ask him.
Well, I want to give him a purpose. I want him
Hey,
to have
tw-
some reason.
No,
in
the
life.
thing is, if we go 20 or nothing, Steven Glasker has to come on wearing a dress. Now that would be news, because then
Oh,
you'd all be
that
like,
would
"Oh
be
my
news.
god!" Yeah.
I got it.
Hey.
I got it. Faubert, 20-0, and you have to shave everything but your beard.
Yes,
Oh,
on camera. On
Eyebrows,
I know
head,
you
everything.
can't shave everything on camera.
Well, no, well,
Like-
yeah, dude, because I mean, it wouldn't be fair.
mean,
The
from the
metric
waist
system
up.
conversion rate wouldn't be fair in video. Inches to centimeters, or what is it?
Millimeters, but we don't need to get into
Millimeters, there you
details here, all right? Like,
But no, everything, even your eyebrows,
It's like,
your
listen,
eyebrows, your
man,
eyelashes.
he's in Canada. It's like a button on a fur coat anyway.
It's America's hat.
Whoa.
It's cold up there, man.
in a partridge in a pear tree. You're like,
Yeah, it's cold
I
up
just-
there, man.
I just want to point out that now everybody is telling penis jokes. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
didn't tell a penis joke.
Matt actually grew up a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Why a tittle?
White fiddle, yes,
What?
absolutely.
He's still throwing out punchable.
Absolutely.
He's got a punchable name.
He
true.
does, dude. Think
Yeah.
about it. Like,
Hey,
hey, what's your name? YA. Listen, man.
Why a tittle?
I think
And
Bob
you can tell me
Mitchell
your-
should be in that.
Hey,
I
what's
just
your
feel
brother
I
be
feel
on
a little
that
weird even saying Mr. Tittle. Doesn't that? I mean, that's like a.
How do you think anybody
Does that not
back in
sound
the
like
day?
a character in? By the way, I'm watching. Look at this. I'm watching this show. I don't know if you guys can see this.
I don't
Yeah.
own the rights for that
It's
streaming
it
service.
looks like a.
It looked like figure skating.
No, CBS has like.
I don't own the rights for that streaming service.
Look, CBS has. There's some show on. I swear, it's on CBS right after Big Brother, and it's like some soft porn thing. I don't know what the heck. I'm like,
Well, dude, when they had YA Tittle, I think they had a guy named BJ Cranium. I can't remember though.
Wow.
DJ
Wow.
Crane.
Do Do you guys not remember the NASCAR driver that people had to address as Cole Trickle?
Oh yeah,
No, dude, that was the real one.
Cole
Dick
Trickle was in the movie. Dick
Yes.
Trickle, yeah.
And then, of course, the real life one. I was going to say
Dick Trickle. Like,
It's
dude,
Dick
your
Trickle, yeah.
parents hate you.
You remember how ESPN on SportsCenter, when they gave the standings, they would always say like Dale Earnhardt came in first, Jeff Gordon came in second, and Dick Trickle came in 33rd.
I was going to say
so they
32nd,
could say the word right.
They would always say that it didn't matter if it was the Talladega race or whatever.
Yeah.
They know he wasn't in the top 10.
Like,
they'd always say he was the last.
nothing for freaking Boris Said or Elliott Sadler or Ken Schrader, Rusty Wallace or Ricky Rudd or Alex.
Don't forget about Cale Yarborough.
Dale Yarborough, Dale Jarrett,
Yarborough.
Bobby, and Terry Labonte. Like, you couldn't talk about anybody else, but you had to go Cole Trickle or Dick Trickle.
Well, because come on, I mean, is their only opportunity to say Dick Trickle on the air?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was.
You know his name was really Richard, right? They just had to say Dick.
Of course, it's NASCAR.
Your
logo
I'm familiar with it.
I want to ask Rick a question. What did you think of that special kick cover? That special kick formation last night.
Oh, that damn 2-point.
What?
That was the stupidest thing I've ever
How
seen.
can you have 123 coaches on your coaching staff and not know that you can't, that we no longer kick extra points from the two?
Didn't it seem different? Didn't it look different? Like you're 8 yards away. Like the whole team went Carlos Mencia and went like that, and it was.
Bruce Arians had to be looking at that coach going, seriously, you are this close to losing your job right now.
Like his undercover boss working today or something.
I mean, that was it. Oh my gosh! I mean, it was just one of those things. Like they kicked it from the two. They changed that rule a decade ago.
It's like a shootout. It's like a shootout in hockey, and they're like, "Hey, pull the goalie out," and the guy turns around and goes, "Where's the goalie?" And just goes ahead and does it anyway, like there's nothing wrong. Like, dude, you were 3.5 yards away from the goal line instead of 35. 35.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I will say though, suck up. I don't think suck up kick would have made it.
Seriously, what? Okay. Let's say somebody thought they were being a genius.
They're like, "Whoa, check it out."
No, there's not another coach on that staff to go. Wait a minute, I got a question.
They didn't try it on Madden.
Can we talk to the rules committee about this before we do it?
I don't even think you can upgrade that in Madden.
And if they practice this, that's the thing. If they practice this, okay, if they practice this, and there are referees on the practice field, none of them said anything. None of them said anything.
I
mean,
we're just trying
to
Thank you for sharing Rick with us. Rick, I know I tease you, but oh my God, I love his rants so much.
Listen,
I love Rick rants.
Between Bucks Report fans and my fans, I do have a few fans at North Sports Dynasty. They're like, yeah, Rick's rants are getting pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie here.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah, me and Rick's rants seem to be a very popular segment on our shows. So
wow.
Tim Witherspoon said, "Is that moonshine in this jar?" No, it is. It is H2O. Our igloo has melted, so we got like a couple of barrels, I guess you would say, of nice glacier ice igloo water to last until we can get a new house here.
Hey, Andrew. By the way, I hear seriously, I hear the person who's having a really good training camp right now is Gerald McCoy.
Jesus Christ!
You know those.
We
By
have
the way,
to.
hey Andrew, I got a question.
Yeah.
You have glacier water, you know, that water that drips down a glacier for thousands of years, and then they put it in a bottle and it has an expiration date. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I believe it. I don't understand that either. I really don't.
But it's called capitalism.
Yes, it's called buy more.
No, it's called. We're gonna put it in plastic.
No, I kid you not. I saw a thread. I can't remember if it was I think it was Facebook. It was I had to go and check some of these places where these people live, and I'm like, okay, American, British, American, and they're like, they see this river, And in the comment section, it was like, pure glacier water running, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, this doesn't exist, okay? Climate change has ruined this. There are no places like this on Canada where just glacier rivers just run. And I'm like, I was so tempted to just like drive an hour away, not even an hour away, and just be like, they're right here, guys. Like, they're really cold, but they're right here.
Matt Ryan.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's just get through some of these comments because there's a lot here tonight. How long did it take before you spilled your beer? When I went to the Elks game, as you saw probably from my status, I actually spilled my friend's beer because I was so excited to see him. It's been like almost 3 years. So
Mahomes.
Really. Good afternoon, sirs. Cal Yacey, thank you for tuning in.
Doesn't sometimes Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, listen, I even agree with that.
Yeah.
All the time, Aaron Rodgers.
Drew Lock was a stud yesterday. Even though it's preseason, they should give him quarterback 1. They should, but I don't think they will.
Is Tyrod Taylor quarterback 1 now?
No, that would be Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For Denver, yeah.
He is quarterback 1. Wow.
I still think it's going to be Drew Lock, but there is people. I've talked to a couple of Bronco fans saying that it's Bridgewater.
Yeah, I read today that Bridgewater and the other guy are 1 and 1A. They're not.
Yeah,
where's all the colorful pictures?
What?
Dude is just on a whole different level tonight, man.
I'm talking about the colorful pictures with the words and the funny things.
Oh, he's
Wait,
talking
what?
about the goulash.
Wait.
Oh,
Did you see what Shelby said? Did you see what Shelby said?
I'm trying to get to that. Actually, I had an issue right before the show started there, dude. Most of the pictures that I had put up got deleted like 10 minutes beforehand. So we are saving the goulash and the
Andrew, just say no.
Say no.
Without looking at the name, I thought the top right was Johnny Dean.
Are
Steven?
you kidding me? Are you kidding me,
No,
Shelby? Are you effing kidding me, Shelby?
First of all, to the dude.
What the hell is wrong with you?
To the dude.
Have you ever seen Johnny Dean?
Fudge off because I had an issue. Okay.
He doesn't keep
Second
the
of all,
lights down that
Steven-
low in his house.
Oh,
He's not talking
Andrew,
about
don't
you.
explain it. Please leave it.
My God.
Dude, just burn that on the screen, bro.
You know what, Shelby? You can kiss it. You know what I'm saying?
Danny Luck. Is it Dana Luck or Daniel Yuck?
Shut up. I don't care.
I'm thinking of Danila.
Care.
He is the follower of the day.
What the heck happened there?
Rick got canceled.
I don't know what
His
yellow
50
shirt.
cents timed out.
The yellow shirt triggered copyright for something.
Look, Shelby.
Curious George came looking
Shelby,
for his dad.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
Charlie Brown sued him.
Shelby, let me help you out, Shelby. Let me help you out. Yeah, I'm not in the top right anymore. I'm in the bottom right now.
Oh, now Matt looks like Johnny Dean. Oh, now it's Steven.
Let me help you out. Shelby. I'm what's commonly known in society as black, and Johnny is not. So, not sure if you got your computer adjusted brightness thing going, but not Johnny Dean. Sorry.
wow.
Okay. So first of all, this was an earlier comment when Matt was actually right up there. So we're just gonna move on.
It was not.
It was actually. You should go back and check the timing of it.
Yeah, I was at the beginning and at the start, and then when Dude came on, it kind of got shuffled out.
Yeah,
But it
see,
doesn't
shuffle. Woo, lots of shuffling. I love shuffling. Anyway, I know people ain't gonna like this question, but if Barrett only gets 8 sacks again this season, do you think it was a bad decision to sign him to that big of a contract? It's a good question. What do you think, Steven?
No.
What?
Basically, he's saying if he, and I'm not thinking David is crazy here or anything like that, but I'm thinking what he's saying is he did it. It's like some fans are thinking is he didn't get the 20 sacks, so why should we give him 20 million, around 20 million plus? It's well, he does do other things, right? But I don't think that's necessarily what he's saying. He's just kind of saying what everybody else has kind of said.
I get it. I get it. Here's why we should, because he could have gotten more somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
A lot more.
We were buying his services. He needed to be a player and a coach.
And go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm done.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had something else to say to that too. I was just going to add on to that. So,
That's Tequila 6'9".
yeah. I was just going to add on to that what Shaq does now is like all the attention goes to his side. So whoever's on the other side, say like JPP or Sue or Vita or David or Devin, any of those guys, they're going to start eating up. So then all of a sudden when that side becomes a problem, Shaq gets to be open again, which we saw towards the end of the season, and he started eating up a little bit more. So
yeah, when Vita came back in and took off required double teaming, everything kind of lightened up for all the outside guys.
Absolutely.
And they took advantage for the bulk of the year of not having that massive man in the middle of the line.
Yeah, Vita and Sue really helped open up things for JPP and Shaq.
And I was very happy that they did not go past 3 years. That's the one thing that I've been like, a lot of people were clipping shows of me being like, Andrew only won Shaq Barrett here for 3 years. I'm like, well, no, I want him here for the rest of his career. Like I would want any really good player, but you don't want to have a edge rusher at $20 million when he's 39 years old. So we're going to add Rick back into this. Rick,
look at that. We got some booze action going on.
What is that action going on?
Did I accidentally send you that from my phone?
Rick now identifies as
a man and a woman.
Any of them.
Rick's
Fanny.
Wait, go full screen on that. Look what it says.
Go full screen. Let's see.
Bucks.
Yay! Nice.
That should be your backdrop. That should be the backdrop so we can all enjoy the apples.
Why are you doing this with your hand?
Kleenex
it's better than what he could have been doing.
Adam Padermo, thank you for tuning in. Says week 4 will be a game Gronk will want the ball. LOL. After his old number in New England was given away.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
That's right. That you know what? That was disrespectful, bro.
That was a true Belichick move. He didn't give it to him.
Belichick works my nerves, man. That guy, I like Mac Jones.
We're on to Baltimore.
I just really hope they don't make the playoffs because that was a dick move. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
You got a guy who's a certified Hall of Famer who played for your team for 10 years and beat his body up playing for your team, and you're gonna just be a prick and give his number up. Stop it.
Sean McVay.
Stop it.
Sean McVay.
Troy.
Yeah, we got Rick doing it. Now we got Rick doing it.
Everyone's going to do it. Troy needs to stop taking shots of Jack during halftime.
Wait. Here's what's funny. Isn't Jack what Joe Buck's father's name is?
Yes.
I think it is.
Ew.
Tim Witherspoon. Witherspoon. Did y'all see
everything?
Did y'all see the fight in the cheap seats at the Rams-Chargers game? I actually had to see a couple of views of it.
What?
I love it. Oh, yeah. It was perfect because some dude's like, come on, all 4 of you are like pussies, blah, blah, blah. And all 4 of them are like, screw you, dude. Like, there's a girl here, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, like, the full extent of it. But the guy finally, like, reached over to, like, smack him kind of thing or, like, punch him. And he kind of grabs one and he gets touched. And then all 4 of them, like, pull him over and they just start tuning on him. And I'm like, good. You deserve it.
He thought he was Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
There we go.
Trying to take on 4 guys. He got his ass whooped. That was a battle for Los Angeles.
That was a great underrated movie. I'm not going to lie.
Who won that game? I didn't watch it. Who won that?
I didn't either.
Yeah, Battle LA was a great movie.
Yeah, I was waiting for the
Two-Face
second.
in it.
It had what?
Two-Face from The Dark Knight.
Tommy Lee Jones was not in Battle of Los
Two-Face from The
Angeles.
Dark Knight.
No.
I know. I'm bugging.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart. Yes, I know.
And
I like the bug. So.
Is it just me, or were all the Batman villains, like back in the day, let's say from Michael Keaton backwards, a little, I don't know, light in the loafers? A little soft?
I don't think Penguin was.
No,
that Danny DeVito Penguin was disturbing.
But they didn't make pointed loafers, so
in the 60s, yes. In the 60s, yes. I was very suspicious of the Joker.
Danny,
But-
yeah.
like when you watch a 60s Batman TV show, it's like any time now, like a D-Light video is going to bust out or something, and they're going to start go-go dancing. It's just
I never thought about their sexuality.
No, I'm telling you, even as a kid.
Wait, you never thought about grown men in underwear on TV?
I'm
And
telling you,
sexuality?
bro.
Never really crossed my mind.
Hey,
I did.
guys,
I'm like, why are you wearing your underwear?
I'm with
There's
the
a
dude
fun
on this
fact
because I used to
I
watch
wanna
the old
share.
show and I'd watch Robin crawling up the rope in front of Batman. And even as a kid, I was like, why is Robin always crawling in front of Batman? Oh, that's a little creepy. I mean, he's a grown man.
You
Go ahead, Matt.
was real about that?
Go ahead, Matt.
They had issues. The TV people, were all worried about man bulges. They made Robin and Adam West take a pill to keep their dinky short. Yeah, something.
It didn't work.
So they
were banging everything on set, bro.
They had loose knuckle.
Bro, have you read Burt Ward's book? That pill did not work because they were banging everything on set.
All I know is the bad people in the one Batman movie were actually the good guys. You didn't realize it, but Poison Ivy was just trying to make things go green, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was cooling the planet.
Yeah.
God. That's exactly
Mr. Bucks Nation says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Mr. Bucks Nation? Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Shout out to James.
Yeah, Cal Yacey, any thoughts on best play for Week 1 preseason? Curious on all your thoughts. Best play,
the Bucks game or the entire
and out of all the preseason games you've seen so far,
best play?
Yeah,
I like that run that Justin Fields made.
That Justin Fields run was good, yeah.
That 20-some yard touchdown run he had?
22, 23, something like that, yeah.
What
about you, Matt?
Run.
That 80-yard touchdown pass, even if it was the highlight of his career, that was sweet.
Yeah,
that was sweet. And
what about you, Tacos?
Well, I'll say the split second of Javon Hagen's interception and then stop.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Rick?
Winston's interception.
Oh, stop it!
Oh, yes. Wait, did it happen?
His fault. It
was
not his fault.
Yeah,
he
did.
Hey, dude, I spent 2 seasons going, the receiver ran the wrong route.
That's what everybody's saying today.
What everybody's saying now.
That is not what they're saying. The ball hit the receiver in the hands.
We're moving on.
It's not his fault.
We're moving on. Ramona K. Hi, Bucks Report. Good vibes. Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Bucks Nation, Giovanni Bernard, 1,500 all-purpose yards. Yes, sir. You can clip
James. James apparently doesn't believe that.
Now, that's a very underrated name.
What?
Bernard?
Giovanni Bernard?
No, Ramona.
I know, right?
I like that.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm going to turn my mic off now.
Mr. Bucks Nation, I've been held accountable for things that I've said here. Some things I'll bring up. Rick's on the show, so I'll bring up the 2 from last year. I said Denver and Arizona would be playoff teams last year. How flipping wrong was I on that?
Well, I agreed with you about Arizona.
Yes, you did. You were tearing me apart on Denver, though, and I see why.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm trying to think if
somebody
there was another one.
Pass that man a tissue. My God.
I know. Right?
Oh,
don't worry. I'm on the back porch.
Just pick up a leaf. He'll be fine. I've said some pretty, interesting. I even said we should have taken our 32nd overall pick and replaced Donovan Smith. I was, killed for that one, but it is what it is.
Well, everybody own it. Everybody own it like Andrew just did. Come on. Steven, last year, what is something you thought was going to happen you were dead wrong about?
Regarding the Bucks?
No, he just said he's going to pick Arizona, or he thought Arizona and Denver were going to make the playoffs. Everybody, come on, let's all own it. Something we did that predicted.
I'm really trying to think, honestly. I don't think I was. I actually thought the Bucks had
Steven
a shot.
made no mistakes last year.
No, I thought the Bucks had a shot at the Super Bowl. That's pretty bad. But to be honest, I wasn't sure. I said they probably miss it this year and next year they go. That was the thing I was wrong about.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest mistake you made last year.
Yeah, I didn't make a lot of predictions about a lot. Well, other than the Patriots wouldn't make. Well, I was right about that. They didn't.
Well, before we get to Matt, I want to introduce one other person onto the show here because this is the cheap seats. You know how we do this. We all just sit up on the cheap side of things and we all relax and hang out.
Mr. Bucks Nation should be on here too. Where is he at?
No, man. No. We have
No, this is not for him, man.
we have the New York Jet fan himself,
Oh,
live from the hard count, Mr.
Dude, they are on a
Jacob
one-game
Chapman.
win streak.
Yay!
Oh, I thought it was going to be Harry.
Break up the Jets.
It's
Yay
me.
for puberty.
Yeah,
What up?
that was awesome.
How you doing tonight there, buddy?
Jacob, Zach, tell me about Zach.
Zach? Hold on.
Looks
You
good.
mind if I play a sound real quick?
Go right ahead.
With the second pick in the 2021 draft, the New York Jets select
Jesus Christ
Zach
himself.
Wilson.
There we go. What can I tell you about the man himself? The future of the New York Jets. No, I'm not gonna overreact. I'm not gonna I've been it would be hypocritical of me to come on here and say, you know what? And say, you know what, Zach Wilson is Jesus. Because he was 6 for 9, nice, in a preseason game on 2 drives. He
Go ahead.
definitely
Go
impressed
ahead.
Wow.
He definitely impressed me with his arm strength. I won't lie. I'm not gonna. And he was accurate. It was exactly what we wanted to see. He was protected. He didn't get sacked. Trevor didn't fumble. Like Trevor. But he also didn't throw an 80-yard pass for a touchdown on his first play.
Trevor?
Right? No, I'm just kidding. No, Justin.
Hey,
Or
hey,
Trey.
Andrew, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Jacob reminded me of this. Back to punchable face. I mean it like that.
These guys are gonna come in and message you, be like, "You trying to hit my fucking son, dude?" Like,
What I meant
Oh,
was
my God.
what I meant was Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay. That's not what you said.
Well, no, you laughed before I could say Sam Darnold. Because Jacob is a Jet fan, he came on. I remember Sam Darnold. Jacob, do you think he has is it a chemistry thing that he still needs to work on, or more of a scheme thing, or do you think he's just progressing nicely?
I think he's progressing nicely. You know what? I think the biggest difference, everyone's like, oh, well, Trey Lance had this 80-yard throw and this and that. Well, also, after you take away that 80-yard throw, Trey Lance was, 4 for 13 or 4 for 12 with 2 sacks. Like, he got sacked 4 times, like, whatever. So Zach Wilson doesn't need to throw 80-yard passes. That's a big thing of this. That's the biggest part of this offense is they're going to rely on the run. They're going to pound the rock. We saw when that starting offensive line was in the first round of the game, Ty Johnson chips off 10 yards. It's going to be that all day, especially since Elijah Vera Tucker wasn't playing. So now you have who I think is the next great guard in the NFL. Not even biased. I thought you go back and watch my draft videos even before the Jets got him. I thought he was going to be fantastic. But you run behind him, you run behind Mekhi Becton, and then when Zach Wilson needs to, he can throw these 8-yard outs to Corey Davis or to Keelan Cole or to Elijah Moore or whoever they need to. The other biggest part of this Jets team that I looked at last night was this Jets defensive line, which is going to be disgusting. The Giants team had their offensive line, and I understand they're the single worst offensive line in the NFL, but in just two plays, the Jets managed to get it back.
Do you know how hard I'm trying not to go on a Rick's rant right now?
Wrong show.
This is
Wait, let me guess. Let me guess. It's preseason.
Starting offensive line in, and the Giants had their starting offensive line in, and the Jets had their starting defensive line in, and the Jets defensive line is going to dominate this season. And if you don't believe me, then we'll come back on here in 17 weeks and we'll talk about it then.
There we go.
Wow.
I like that.
There went the gauntlet right there.
That
Boom.
went-
Put it down.
I have all of them.
Dude, that was a 7-week. Wow, that's a long time.
I will not overreact to preseason. I will not overreact to preseason. I will not overreact to preseason. It's what I was saying earlier.
I'm not overreacting to the parts. I'm not going to say Zach Wilson was amazing. I'm just saying I liked the mechanics and he looked comfortable because he was going up against a backup defense. The Giants were not playing basically any of their defensive starters. But this defense is going to be great. I'm not looking at the corner group because they were going up against a backup quarterback. I'm not looking literally the only thing I'm looking at is this defensive line. And now take what you saw last night and add a top 5 defensive tackle to that mix in Quinnen Williams. And now this team, now they have a top 3 defensive line in the league at the end of the year. That's kind of a hot take. I don't know how many people will agree with me, but when you really break it down, this team has a chance to do something special defensively.
So you'd put them in the same category as Washington and the Bucks, etc.
110%.
Okay.
Why? 2 years ago,
Oh my God!
2 years ago, the Bucks had the number 1 run defense. Guess who was number 2? It was the Jets, and now they have even more pieces to this defense.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, they got a good D line. I'm not saying. I'm not disputing that.
You guys are just having fun down there, aren't you?
Jacob, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'll be honest. I'm telling you, when I watched the highlights from that game, and my first thoughts were, the Jets might finally have a quarterback. That was my first thought. So I'm with you.
It would be.
Well, I mean, he does have a face that I would want to punch.
Simmer down, Sparky.
I'm a Dolphins fan, but have been on Bucks Report a lot. Well, thank you, Ramona.
Listen.
Thanks, Ramona.
I'm a Jets fan, and I'm on Bucks Report quite a lot. If you might say that,
my co-host is a Lions fan. God bless his soul, but like, he's on Bucks Report too. He's a Lions fan.
A what?
You know what?
You know what happened?
That you forget exists in the NFL.
He's not a Lions fan. He's the Lions fan because I think they only have one.
I need to ask Jacob a serious question. Did the Jets improve their O-line? What is it that makes you think they got a good shot at your division? Other than Zach Wilson, I'll give you that. He looks pretty good. It is preseason, but he looked good in the game, the highlights I saw. But what else is it that makes you think they got a shot at the division?
I love my team more than anything. I love my team so much. They do not have a shot. They do not have a shot at the division this year. The Bills will not regress to a point where the Jets will catch up to them. I think the Dolphins, if Tua is actually what I'm hearing in training camp, then I have not been a Tua guy. But if he's actually that, the Dolphins have a really good defense, and then they have some good pieces. And then the Patriots are the Patriots. They're a quarterback away. But the Jets, yes, to answer your question, they improved their offensive line quite a bit. They obviously have Mekhi Becton coming back with more experience in his second year. They traded up for that kid Elijah Vera Tucker at a USC. He's like I said, I think the next right guard. He checks all the boxes. He's done everything well in training camp. Didn't play last night because he's going through a little bit of an injury. And then they they signed Morgan Moses from the Washington football team last year, and the veteran there, and he's to play right tackle. He kind of solidifies that right side and is a nice complement to Mekhi on the left side. So and the running back by committee, I love that approach. When you don't have that Derrick Henry or that Christian McCaffrey, you need to do that. That's why I'm not a fan of what the Falcons are doing right now, because I don't think Mike Davis can be that workhorse RB1, and I very much so worry about that.
So as an objective fan then, and I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but as an objective fan, where do you see them placing in your division?
I think third. I think we finished third in the division, but I think it's competitive. I don't think it's – I think the Bills probably win 12, 13 games this year. I think the Dolphins maybe win 9 or 10. I think the Jets win somewhere between 6 and 8. And then I think the Patriots finish 5. They get maybe 5 or 6 wins this year.
Man, you're selling the Patriots short.
Before we get too deep into this, guys, here, let's get through some of these comments because we're almost at the 2-hour mark here, and I'm going to have to get going here soon.
Andrew's going to shave his eyebrows.
Yeah, right. I thought Kyle Trask looked pretty good. I think all of us looked at that and said, you know what? I'm happy that we took that second-round pick and we got him in here. I'm really happy with that, too. Yep. No, it's just the first time the trade deadline meant something to us since the mid-2000s. I think that was to Rick's comment there earlier. Yes and no. The trade deadline did have some extreme value there just because of the way COVID was going. Some teams, as bad as it is to say, some teams were going to take advantage of some expiring contracts, and teams that didn't want to keep certain players here because they figured, we can go a cheaper route because, let's face it, certain franchises don't make certain money like certain other franchises do. So it's just the inevitable.
Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, geez. Just more punchable faces. Right?
I will throat punch that man.
Rick can keep talking because I'm digging that picture, bro. Thank you.
I will throat punch Jimbo Fisher I will.
Well, Kyle
the things I
Yates
will do to Jimbo Fisher.
Kyle Yacy says punch Matt Ryan in the face and Kyle Shanahan too.
Yeah, definitely. And yes.
Wow.
Anything Shanahan.
Yeah. Carl Hardy, if Vita Vea stays healthy this year, Barrett sacks will go back up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Sean Payton, Christopher Cole says, I like that.
That's a punchable face. Yeah.
The difference is
Cole's getting involved in the act now.
The difference is Peyton Manning had a defense to back him up when he threw interceptions. Winston never had a defense. He never had a defense that wanted to play necessarily for.
Out of your damn mind. He had the defense that he get. Oh, wow. That's the same.
Add a couple parts, Add a couple of parts to it, but
Christ.
It goes to the same thing we've talked about before. You bring in the talent.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
really?
Sometimes the
Seriously?
talent doesn't just go off.
Did this person just say, in sort of kind of low-key backwards, compare Peyton Manning and Jameis Winston?
No, that was kind of.
Did that? Am I reading that correctly? Because
yes, but it was to a comment that I made earlier in regards to.
Oh, I don't think the comment.
Manning.
I don't think what it was in regards to matters. Read it again, David. David.
And then he's got. So y'all don't put this in the equation that we had to get a true tight end. We had to get a true route running wide receiver and actually get a running back and a dominant tackle for us to go into the playoffs. Yeah, it was all Tom Brady by itself, right?
Not one person I've ever talked to in my entire life up to this point has said that it was just Tom Brady that came in here and won the Super Bowl. Not one. Because the reality is, and I'm sorry for the rest of the Bucs fans on this panel, is that the defense won you that game in the Super Bowl. There was that offense could have run rampant, but the defense absolutely destroyed the Chiefs.
I agree. However,
you can't argue that, dude. 9 points.
I agree. However, I think had Brady and the offense needed to put up points to win that game,
Absolutely.
They could have.
You're absolutely correct. But this whole idea that Tom Brady walked into Tampa and all of a sudden that they won a championship.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That is what happened. That's
exactly what happened.
That's absolutely what happened.
Sure, that's
what I was going to say. Hey, Rick, when's your next show?
Tuesday night, and boy, am I getting cranked up.
I was going to say, how much ammunition and stuff do you have? You're going to be like, listen, y'all need to go back and watch this episode of the Sunday Night at the Chiefs. Now, I don't usually say go back and watch Canadian content, but there's some people in there who got some stupid things to say.
What I'm going to say is that if Tom Brady was okay. Tom Brady brought this team to new heights.
No, he brought this team together. Do you think Gronk would have got off the couch?
Wait. Let Jacob finish. Let Jacob finish. Let him finish.
Oh my God.
This team, Tom Brady brought this team from here to here. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, all these pieces and this defense were just as big contributors to you guys winning the Super Bowl.
Bullshit.
Tom Brady was.
Wait. I have a question. Rick is striking me up. I have a question. I hear what you're saying, Jacob.
Okay, make it quick because we gotta get through these comments here, Steven.
Okay. Who was throwing Chris Godwin? Who was throwing Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette? Who was throwing the ball?
Tom Brady.
Okay.
No.
Check the travel
God.
Check the travel
Wins
records.
are not a quarterback stat.
Hold
Listen,
on.
they're
Hold
not.
on.
They're not.
My God.
Oh, for the God's sake.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this.
Brady came here
Matt, you got 1 minute, and then right after that, Rick, you got 1 minute. Matt, go ahead, buddy.
Brady came down here because he liked what was here. Not on the defense necessarily. He took advantage of the wide receivers and the running backs that we had here and the tight end pool and knew that with the right few pieces that are missing, he could win a Super Bowl or at least run at it. And then he went ahead and said, okay, he got down here and he got in the back room with the GM and said, I'll get you Gronk. I think we ought to talk to Antonio Brown, on and on and on. All of those key pieces that came in after him didn't come here because Bruce Arians was a coach and he had Jameis Winston. They came here because it was Brady and Arians. And they had an idea that if we all worked together and we did it together, we got a hell of a team here, and it's just waiting here to take the cork out and let it go. If Brady hadn't come here and we'd got some second hand quarterback. Hell, if we got Bridgewater wouldn't have attracted Antonio Brown. Bridgewater wouldn't have attracted any of the key players that were brought down here. Gronk wouldn't have come out of the WWE or wherever he was at. He would have just been Teddy Bridgewater with our crew, which would have been competitive, but they wouldn't have been the Super Bowl champion when they ran up against the wall. And that's what he brought. He brought in the idea you cannot lose a game like that. You're not going to beat yourself. That's what he taught people.
No, before I let Rick go, hold on. Before I let Rick go, I was going to say, Jacob, I do apologize that there's like 40-year-old men here yelling at you. So
we both appreciate you calling us 40-year-old men.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be great.
I just I got a few extra.
Rick, you got a minute here. Go ahead.
Listen, man. I mean, come on. Without Tom Brady, I mean, seriously, Tom Brady won it because Tom Brady brought Gronk. Tom Brady brought Antonio Brown, brought Leonard Fournette. Tom Brady changed the entire attitude of those players who were here before. The entire team changed solely because of Tom Brady. 100% Tom Brady changed everything from the marketing department. Everybody then demanded excellence. It's because of Tom Brady, period. His relentless refusal to accept anything less than excellence. And it infected every effing part of this franchise.
Right. I like how he actually kept to a minute. Jacob, hold on 1 second, Steven. You have 30 seconds for a quick rebuttal there, Jacob.
30 seconds is all. Okay, great. Thanks.
I'm just going to piss it.
First of all, it's really cool to see two women's butts yell at Jacob. That was kind of cool. Secondly, Jacob, the only problem with and I get what you're saying, but the only problem with your belief there, your opinion there, is that both Bruce Arians in the championship game and the owners said it was Brady. I think they would know.
Fair enough. All right, Jacob. Now you get your 30 seconds.
I'm going to piss everyone off so much. This is going to be. I already have, but this is going to be hilarious. So I genuinely feel this way. You guys had a super team last season. I think we can agree that this is a super team. With a bad defense, you guys don't win the Super Bowl. Without these receivers, you guys don't win the Super Bowl. I don't care who your quarterback is. The reality, that's the reality of it. Yes, Tom Brady changed the culture, but you have to look at talent, right? The amount of talent that this team has all over the field, not just at quarterback, is incredible. At receiver, at running back, at every single defensive position. Any sort of talented quarterback. Listen, you guys had Jameis Winston before Tom Brady. He sucks. He sucks. You weren't winning a Super Bowl with Jameis Winston. You bring in any talented quarterback that doesn't throw 30 interceptions, you guys win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers would have won you guys a Super Bowl last season. Patrick Mahomes would win you guys a Super Bowl last season. That's the reality of it. I completely agree Tom Brady has changed this culture for this team for the better. But with any talented quarterback not named Jameis Winston, you guys win it all.
So we're going to win it with Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
But you don't have Gronk. You don't have Brown. You don't have Fournette. You don't have that talented team that you're talking about without Tom Brady.
I think Fournette was signing either way. I think that was. I don't remember. Listen. Don't take my word on it. You guys would know better than I would. But I think I read something like Tom Brady. It wasn't Tom Brady's like. It wasn't his choice. It wasn't that Leonard Fournette was coming to Tampa. I think he was just like looking, and he was like,
Leonard Fournette flat out said he chose Tampa with that salary because of Tom Brady, and that he'd gotten offered more elsewhere. Okay. Now I don't know if that's true, but that's what Fournette said. That doesn't mean it's true.
Right. It's easy to say that after the fact.
Right.
But finishing remarks, Jacob. Go ahead.
Yeah. The most important pieces, right? Gronk was great to have. He was good in a few playoff games. I honestly, the playoff games were very blurred to me. I just remember them winning them.
Two tutties.
He had those two tutties. That was in the Super Bowl, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the rest of the playoffs, he was not very effective. Antonio Brown.
Phenomenal blocker. He did a phenomenal job blocking in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
I think I also, and everyone's going to hate me for it, I really, if OJ Howard stayed healthy, I think he could have been a very similar role. I love OJ Howard and I love Cam Brate, but it was the name Rob Gronkowski that got him the prominent role on this team that he had.
All right. Well, I was going to say, I do have to cut you off there because I do need to continue on through these comment sections before we continue on this rant for another 10, 15 minutes.
I'll end on this. You guys come on my show Tuesday, and I
think Rick is going to be waiting for Tuesday for sure.
You gotta come on Rick's show. You gotta come on Rick's show.
This is my favorite thing in the world. Is just this. People being passionate about football. I don't think there's anything better than that in the world.
No.
Hey, Rick, can Jacob come on your show Tuesday?
Of course he can.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I was going to say, everyone's always.
I have plans literally before and afterward every Tuesday. That's the only problem. That's
like, I mean, unless Joe Buck all of a sudden is coming on Rick's show, like I think if something like that was about to happen, we're going to make sure that Matt does not sign in randomly to StreamYard. Just like, hi, sorry, I'm gonna get out of here. Who the heck? Speaking of who the heck, how the heck is Mike Evans number 48 in the top 100? And last year he was number 30.
Yeah,
I think
it's heading into next year. It's the top 100 heading into next year.
Yeah, and Peyton Manning in his first 5 years threw 100 interceptions. Winston in his first 5 years only threw 88. And like I said, the difference is having a defense to back you up.
If the difference is not having the defense starting on the 15. Everybody was getting the ball in the red zone whenever Jameis would throw a pick.
David made a good
Preach
point.
it, brother.
David made a good point.
Peyton also, Peyton also, like, if he threw those interceptions, he would also do these epic comebacks and, put the team right back into it, right? So
that's true too.
Jameis, like, I've even broken down some of these plays because me and a certain other person who shall not be named, who is definitely not affiliated with this platform, decided to come at my knowledge one time. And I was like, yeah, no, that's pretty sure if we go to the tape of this, Jameis Winston threw more interceptions that were totally on him than actually broken down wide receiver routes or just broken down plays. And if I had, I kid you not, I broke it down on the whiteboard. If I still had all that stats and that picture that I had done, I would throw it all up on here. I'd have to do it all over again and make sure I had the ability to do it. It cost me $126 to watch all that tape for 3 days, and just so I could prove a point, and it was worth every dollar.
Nothing feels better than being right.
Well, I think Rick knows kind of who I'm talking about, and man, did it feel good. It may have cost me a position somewhere, but it felt good at the damn time.
Okay, Rick,
Fred Swayze more. Sorry, go ahead, Steven.
I was going to say, Rick, I hear what you're saying regarding Brady. I agree with you. I can see Jake's point. Please, let's discuss it Tuesday night.
There you go.
Oh,
Fred Moore said 20-0, and I wear a dress. Listen. If we go 20-0, I'll wear a dress. The first loss, I think I'll wear a dress. How about that?
We could get it a lot easier than 20-0. I think.
No, I think I'll make it easier for you guys. The first loss of the Buccaneers season, and I'll come onto the cheap seats and wear a dress. How about that? I'll go full makeup and everything.
If I asked, I was like, "Hey, Foobs, like, can you wear a dress on my show?" He's like, "All right."
I mean, yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, sure."
If I have to be the fantasy dude that wears a dress for fantasy, then sure, that'll be my niche and that'll get me 1 million followers. I don't care if that's what it takes. Sure. I don't want that to be my niche or my thing, but sure. David Mosier said NASCAR would always bring up Crybaby Davey. 1,000%.
Wow.
How about this? If the Bucs go 20-0, Steven has to wear a Fitzpatrick jersey until the following season on camera. Big LOL on that one.
I like that one.
You know what? Okay. Hey, David, if that happens, I'll do it.
Whoa. Mark the tape.
Yeah, I already clipped it. We're good.
Every time we go 20-0, I will happily wear that cheating best. I will happily wear that jersey. We go 20-0.
Every time he's on camera. I love it. Eric says, let me in, Andrew. I want to commit. Sorry, dude. I wasn't actually near the comment section for a bit. I apologize. We'll drop it in there next time.
If let's go 20-0, me and Rick will agree on something, which is Oh, that is crazy, isn't that, Rick? Me and Rick we'll come on and we will have a virtual handshake and we will agree.
No. I got it. If the Bucs go 20-0, Rick has to agree that Brady was not responsible.
Oh, that's that would just add into his.
That makes no sense at all.
He just won the second Super Bowl. Now you say he sucks.
Right, and that makes no sense at all.
No, it makes perfect sense because Jacob's saying it's the defense. So if they go 20-0, Rick, you have to agree.
I do not have to agree to that.
This would be a lot more effective if you guys weren't bringing back every single fucking person from last time.
Whoa, Jacob! All right, but if Garrett only averaging 8 sacks a year, would it be that big of a deal if you went somewhere else? I think
Jacob,
he brings
I agree
more.
with a lot of stuff you say.
Yeah, I was going to say I would also agree with that too. But I do also think that Barrett brings just more than sacks. But I do see where you're coming from. And then Eric dropped on a different profile and said, "Hey, drop me the link, Andrew." Fred Moore said, "Love Bucks life. Can I come on for a few minutes, guys?" I mean,
that's four requests.
Oh, it's more than 4. I think that was 5.
Yeah.
Please.
I love it. Fantastic.
Starting to remind me of a past Canadian here.
Miss Brian. No. He's still a current Canadian.
This is a minefield. You cannot, if you guys say anything, like we are ready to pounce on you if you jump into this room.
No, Jacob,
you are being fed to the dogs.
We go 20-0. Rick has to agree you were right about the 2020 Bucks.
Dude, Steven, let it rest, buddy. I'm not doing that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
LVD at 43. David Mosier says, "What do the Jets and Bill Graham have in common? They are the only ones that can make 70,000 people in a stadium all say Jesus Christ at the same time."
Funny. You know who I want back in here? You know who I want back in here with this crew right now? Rick. I think one of you guys might remember it also. Andrew, I doubt it. I don't remember. It was so long ago. That guy, Rick, who used to come onto your show. Brian. Him.
Peterson.
Yep.
Fan.
Yeah, I miss him. I miss him
so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Man, what great content he brought for us.
Yeah, that guy was. Oh man, that was awesome.
Eat that Saint fan alive. Speaking of division rivals, though, Caliesi is a Falcons fan. He says Falcon fan here. No regrets, but still have lots of love for the Bucs. This is true.
Nice.
He was talking my ear off about like what the future. My defense of the Falcons looks good. I'm like, it's preseason.
And they suck.
Settle down.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. Jacob's in here.
Yeah, but Rick says it every time he's on the show.
Rick says what?
I'm not sure. He just said Rick says it every time.
That was when you yelled BS at me.
Oh. How many points did the defense score?
You're gonna win, Andrew. I mean, you're gonna win, Jacob. Don't worry. You're gonna win the bet.
No Gronkowski talk Brady. No Gronkowski talk Brady into coming here.
We lost Matt.
What?
Oh, Colson popped out. Oh, Matt.
Listen, in and out with he's a stealthy guy.
He'll come back in. Don't you worry. He'll just literally pop back in like 2 seconds.
With you.
Thank you, cuz. If it was just Brady, how come he didn't win the Super Bowl the year before he came to us? See, look at hold on. He just literally right back in there. Boom.
I don't know what that was.
I can explain that because he didn't have Gronk, he didn't have Fournette, he didn't have all the other pieces. I'm not saying, listen, man, this team would not have won without Brady. If you pull Fournette out, would this team have won? Yes. If you pull any other single player out, this team still could have won the Super Bowl. You pull Tom Brady out, they don't win the Super Bowl.
Huh? I can't wait till Tuesday. I'm making sure I'm off Tuesday in time to get on that show. It's gonna be fun.
Tuesday's gonna be awesome.
Again, of the last 6 Super Bowls, Brady has won 4.
There was an interesting point up there that someone said, how many points did the defense score?
Yeah.
None.
They held them to 9. They held the Kansas City Chiefs, the most high-powered offense in the NFL, to 9 points.
Yep.
They were.
Nobody's saying the defense didn't do great. Nobody's saying that.
Yeah.
And you seen Brady his last year with the Patriots without Drunk. What was his last pass for New England? Oh yeah, pick six, just like Winston.
Yeah.
Another
So there's some
comparison.
kind of parallel
Another
there?
comparison to Winston.
Rick has literally now put a reminder in his phone for the Tuesday show and is taking notes of all fans. Going to tag them into the top of it. Be like, no, you're coming on the show.
Hey,
Get in here.
I'm calling their ass at home.
Rick can't handle the
only
fact
thing,
that
I
you're
think
right.
the only thing so far that I've actually disagreed with, that Rick has yelled at these comments about, is the Brady thing. But other than that, like I don't understand a lot of what's.
No fans are going to be able to call into Rick's show. Rick is calling every single fan that has ever commented tonight.
Rick
Brady,
taking numbers already. He's
Right.
writing names. I don't want to. No one can compare. New rule: no one compares Jameis Winston to anybody else, any other quarterback in the league. Because
almost at the end here, guys. Brady changed the mindset of the entire organization from the owners to the water boy.
That's exactly right.
I'm not arguing that at all. I'm not.
David Mosier, no Gronkowski did a hell of a job in the playoffs blocking for us. That was in hypotheticals. I love how there's people still waiting. They're like, so are we in hypothetical quarter today? It's like, well, I mean, we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and no.
Can I throw in the name Eric Moreno?
Oh my god,
Oh.
dude! Wow.
Wow.
Or Matt.
I just
Not
went
Matt
there.
Colson, but
I just went there.
We'll say Winnipeg. How about that? Good old Manitoba. Punch people from there. Winston didn't have a defense to help slow down the other team's offense for him to have a comeback. Look at the Rams game from a couple years ago. Our defense couldn't stop them for nothing. You do make a good point, but to counter argue that, there was games where like the defense of the Buccaneers actually showed up and did really, really good. Even when Winston threw 4 interceptions in a game, the defense kept them alive. And then Winston threw a touchdown. I'm trying to remember the game too, but Winston threw a touchdown with like 4 or 5 minutes to go. And the defense, after he already threw 3 interceptions, stopped that. They got the ball back. And what does Winston do? Threw an interception. So again, it does go both ways. I understand on both sides, but also at the same time too, it is the mentality.
Jameis Winston.
If Jameis Winston's not going to like, Jameis Winston has I think 7 career game-winning comebacks, and all of them were, if I am correct, and believe me, if I have to, I'll write my own damn book about this and try to sell it off as it's actually something.
Andrew, 1 of 1.
No, yeah. 1 of 30. But anyway, I love Matt's comment there earlier. That was good. But it is the mentality, right? But it is also like the defense itself is thinking that's the GOAT. This guy has proven that he can make epic comebacks. He's done it against the Falcons, which then he went and proved against the Falcons. And then it all happened in 1 year. When you have this ability to have a winner come in and it all happened really, really quickly, you do get these, say in history, these weird offset teams that come through, like the Bengals that, gave the 49ers one of the best highlighted plays of their career. That was the Bengals, right? You look at some of the Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings have had the purple people eaters and stuff like that. It just so happens that when you have something like this, if your quarterback isn't going to get you over the hump, then people forget that you had the purple people eaters, or that, the Kansas City Chiefs that same year had a better defense than you, or just certain other individual statistics off of that. Jameis Winston was good, but he wasn't great. He was childish, and he still kind of is. Right. And he doesn't have the proper leadership mentality. He's I'm going to insult myself on this, but he's kind of like me. I would love nothing more than to include everybody in everything that I'm doing every single day. And I have so much motivation to help everybody win. I just don't have the proper knowledge to help everybody else around me succeed. I'm still a bit of a child. I have to learn. And he's in the proper system to do it with Sean Payton. But he hasn't taken the full grasp of it yet. He's trying. But maybe he just doesn't have the right talent.
Just for the record, Andrew, Jameis's career at Tampa had 7 fourth-quarter comebacks and 11 game-winning drives. Just so you know.
Wow. Okay,
So,
thank you for that.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah, that's
though,
from-
Andrew.
Yep.
Don't you think, just to be fair to Jacob, that Matt Stafford could have come in here and done what Brady did, or maybe
Listen. I was about to
done it. I mean,
Steven, you set me up so well. I was going to say, let's see what Stafford does in Los Angeles this year, because I think obviously not to the extent that Brady is, but it seems very similar, where they have a very complete team with a bad quarterback, and now you have. I would argue Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback, not to the level of Tom Brady, but I would argue Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback. I've had that take for a long time. If Stafford can come into Los Angeles and take this team to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, I'll start focusing more on quarterback play. But I'm thoroughly convinced that this is that it was such a full team effort. And yes, Brady came. I'm Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tuesday. Last 2 comments here. So Rick, you're not comparing Winston to all other quarterbacks in the league when you talk about his 30 interceptions.
I don't have to. I'm talking about the statistics.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions in one season, guys.
It does.
That's a ridiculous number.
I hate being the host where everybody has to yell at me through the fans sometimes, and the fans yell at me to the rest of the hosts. It's like, guys,
Hey,
I'm just
Andrew.
Canadian.
Andrew, do you have some of that legal stuff you can send Rick?
No. We don't do that, dude. That's illegal.
As Stephen A. Smith would say, stay off the weed.
Now, speaking of sending things over, though, I did, however, send your Denver Broncos jersey down to you, and it should be there in the next 2 to 3 weeks, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Let me know when you get it. And last comment of the night, David Moser, I'm not saying Winston's not at fault for a lot of his interceptions, but you can't blame the man for everyone. No, but that's the thing. You can blame him for most of it.
He was most of it because this team won a Super Bowl as soon as he left. So I don't like he left, and you don't
seriously. Seriously, did they? Seriously, I mean,
I blame him for everything.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, you can't blame him for all of them. Let's say you could only blame him for 20 of them. It's 20.
Yeah.
Rick is pissed, man. I cannot wait.
The next one, Andrew. Please. Oh, Andrew, please.
Oh, my God.
Please
the year he threw 30 interceptions, Mike Evans was out for a lot of games. Godwin was out for a lot of games, and hell, both of them were out for the last 3 or 4 games, and 4 games, and all he had was Perriman Miller, who couldn't run routes at the time. I don't remember the other dude's name. OJ Howard was out too.
With Chris Hogan as our wide receiver 1 last year. Sam Darnold did not throw 30 interceptions on an entire season. And I think Sam Darnold is worse than Jameis Winston is. And that is saying a lot.
Well, this
Jameis
has been a great show.
defense.
I am so glad that I am getting dirty looks from a very dirty girl. And I'm going to have to go earn my roster spot here pretty darn soon. But before we do that, I'm going to go around the horn and get everybody to tell me where they can find themselves, because everybody here can be found at Bucks Report someplace. So start telling all the fans where they can find you, Mr. Jacob Charnow.
If you guys hadn't heard, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, come check it out. The Hard Count Football Podcast live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and right here on Bucks Report. This Tuesday is going to be fun. I don't think I've been more excited for a show in my entire life. Follow me on Twitter at Jacob Charnow, Instagram at Hard Count Football. Andrew, appreciate it. Steven, Matt, Rick, it's always a pleasure to get yelled at.
I love you, man. I love you.
Tonight was a ton of fun. I'm so happy I popped on. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have yourself a good one, Jacob. I'll talk to you on Tuesday, buddy.
Cool, man.
All right, Steven. Tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm so looking forward to Tuesday night. Tuesday night is going to be awesome. But you can find me and my buddy Matt there, as well as Miss Teresa. Yeah, hey, that's the best thing going on the screen. You can put it back up for me. I don't care. But this Saturday night, both Matt and I, myself, and Miss Teresa, Ms. Miscreant, will be doing a preseason post-game show after the Bucs-Titans game. Come join us for Miscreant Mayhem. It's a show by fans, for fans. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night. I'm going to say Tuesday again. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night after the game.
Well, we will look forward to seeing you on Tuesday as well, because I know you're definitely going to try hopping in there just to try and stir Rick.
I have not laughed this much in a long time. It's been awesome.
All right, buddy. I will see you around, my friend, and I'll definitely see you on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Not a problem. Thank you. Matt, it's your turn.
Yes.
Where can everybody find you?
Okay. About 27 miles east of Oklahoma City, 17 miles south of the Mother Road,
West
66
Virginia.
in Oklahoma. And on our show, post-game show for the Buccaneers Titans game on Saturday night, I'll be on the Miscreants Mayhem with Stephen Glasgow and Teresa Teresa Miss Miscreant. Yeah, I can't remember anything. Tuesday night, though, I might be on the bench for Rick's show. I think that would be worthy of checking off on your calendar to get onto that show.
Oh yeah,
and see how things go, because that's going to be a blast. And other than that, that's it, man. I'm busy enough.
We always appreciate you coming on here, man. Always appreciate you having up on here on Sundays with me. And I will, you know me, I'm going to make sure that I can be available on Tuesday as well to hop in for a couple minutes if I have to. So good to see you. We'll see you next Sunday anyway. Deuces up, buddy. Have yourself a good one.
All right, man. I'm out.
Peace. All right, Rick. Since we've given you... And the best part is, none of this was me. This was all everybody else today giving you
this was fun. Yeah, this was awesome. Fun. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, Tuesday night, What's Cooking in the South? We will be on at about 8:30. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll also be on Jacob's show prior to that. But, yeah, Tuesday night, Bucks Report, What's Cooking in the South. I think it's going to be maybe a good one.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking so. To the man who always keeps this platform afloat and the guy who puts in more effort than I could because he's a lot closer to the damn place than I can ever be at this point. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining the show that used to be your show. I love every time that you get to come in here and pop in here and join us, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Coming on here.
Thank you again, Rick. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday. I cannot wait for Tuesday, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
This is going to be great. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you then.
See ya.
All right. That's it. 2.5 hours, essentially, ladies and gentlemen. A lot longer than I wanted to go. I actually, like I said, we were going to have the goulash and, all the pictures that we like to do and stuff, but I put them on, and all of a sudden I clicked something I shouldn't have, and I came back, and everything wasn't there anymore. And I'm like, well, I guess we're going to have to try and make this show go a little bit longer, and man, did it ever. Great talk today. Great chatter. Great show all around. Chatters will be ready on Tuesday. Damn rights. Great show, guys. Damn rights. Thank you all. I really appreciate this. Again, from the bottom of my heart, guys, this show is awesome. I love being part of this. I give my Sundays. I actually look forward to this. I'm going to try putting a little bit more, not say effort, because I put in 100% effort every time I'm on here, but I want to get some pictures. I want to get some more segments going here. I want to have a little bit of fun until, obviously, the big man himself kicks me and Johnny B around on the Sunday shows and starts handing them out to the people who actually do good content on here. So probably just Johnny B will be taking over from Sundays from now on, and I'll be kicked off because, as you probably heard tonight, this show gets off the rails a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be here until the day they kick me out again, which will be like, hey, it's gonna take a while. Great show, man. I got to feel I'm going to get in here full soon. David Mosier, nobody here at Bucks Reporter, any fans, any reporters, we don't go hard on anybody for their takes. We just laugh along with it. And if it's something that you are serious about and you believe on it, we appreciate it every single time that you come on and give us your takes, because that gives us something to talk about. Maybe somebody out there agrees with you. Maybe some people on our show are only the 5 people who are thinking it this way. And then you go and talk to some other people and you're thinking it the other way. I will always try to be right in the middle for you guys. I will always try to bring you the content that you deserve and you love. I like being gray. Don't like to lean this way. Don't like to lean that way. I always try to be right in the middle. Let's see what happened over there first and see what happened over there next. And then we can come up with the brilliant answer. Tuesday is going to be fun because there's never necessarily a right or wrong. But man, when you get into the heart of sports season, especially football season, you get passion and you get excitement. And that is exactly what I am going to be bringing you, the fans, every single Sunday from now on until the rest of this season is done. And we hold up the deuces like this again. But it's not just to tell 2 tutties or to be getting flags in the face because the NFL doesn't know how to actually enjoy themselves. People have been showing off like this all the time. And now all of a sudden we want to flag it because we won. Let them. We'll win it in other ways. But we'll hold up the deuces high because we're going for 2. And you know who's going to be taking you in this ride? Me. All the way through. All the way until February. So thank you all again for tuning in. I will talk to you all next Sunday. We'll talk about the Titans preseason game, the Bucs, and what they're going to do and how it looks. Maybe some other guys are going to get some attention. The cuts. I'll be bringing you all the information you need to hear every Sunday, live to you starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time to my mountain folk. You all been a blessing as per usual. Take care now, and bye-bye then.
T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.